side. How about a couple more? Way up in the air, and that one is gone. It's 10-1. We're going to keep going. 11-1 Diamondbacks. Well, 13 has been the Diamondbacks' lucky number this week. Let's call this the Baker's Dozen series. 13 runs in each of the first two games against the Phillies. And this afternoon, the D-backs have a chance to complete a series sweep and get above 500 for the first time since April 22nd. It's the series finale, the Diamondbacks and the Phillies on Fox Sports Arizona. And good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly along the way. Series finale here, D-backs and Phillies. Now, the Phillies have not exactly rolled out a Hall of Fame rotation to this point, so it won't be quite as easy today for the Diamondbacks. They're up, Bob, against rookie Aaron Nola, the Phillies' #1 pick from last year.
Guy made it to the big leagues in a hurry, and for good reason. This guy's got really good stuff. He's 2-1 on the season with a no decision. His one loss was probably the best game he pitched. His team did not score a run for him in a 1-0 loss. Good fastball, curveball, changeup combination from the young right-hander.
Yeah, Nola, the 7th overall pick in the draft just last year out of LSU. He's got a big curveball. Looks a lot like a slider right there, you can see. But they like this young man a lot.
Yeah, and we talked about the Phillies throughout this series. They're seriously in a phase of transition, and this is a guy they look to build their rotation around moving forward.
Chase Anderson, oh boy, he was terrific coming off the DL in his last start.
As good as we've seen him. Had a really fresh arm. He topped out at 95 on his velocity. His curveball was fantastic. The changeup is always there for Chase Anderson. Really good to see him go back out and command the zone the way he did.
So we should, even after the Diamondbacks scored 13 runs in each of the first two games, see a pitcher's duel here this afternoon. But you never know. 13 has been lucky. Can the D-backs get the sweep and get over 500? First pitch coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. Brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter.
Welcome back. I'm Kate Longworth coming at you from Chase Field, where the Diamondbacks are doing a little housekeeping. That's right. Arizona going for its first sweep here at home with a W today over the Phillies. Well, it's nice and cool here field level, but that's quite the contrast from the Diamondbacks offense, which has been catching fire as of late. Arizona really turning up the heat, winning 12 of its last 17 games, and it's been raining runs here. 26 runs on 32 hits against the Phillies this series. Peralta leading the way, 5 for 9 with 7 RBI. Hill has 3 for 5. Castillo with 4 RBI and a home run. And as his fellow catcher explains, catching fire is easy because hitting is contagious.
It's a common approach, I mean, it's everyone on the same page, everyone, all 9 hitters. I count the pitcher because he did his job tonight, but, having the same approach, looking for a certain pitch up in the zone, or, whether it's a guy that's got really good off speed, so we need to, kind of see those. But whatever it is, we all have to have the same approach, and, that's what we've done the past 2 nights.
The Diamondbacks keep the same approach, hoping for the same results in another edition of Chase at Chase, chasing the sweep. But don't you run away. We've got first pitch in this matinee when we come back.
Games. The wins are piling up now, says Chip Hale, and the D-backs, he says, put themselves in position in September to be playing for a playoff spot. Chase Anderson and company beginning this series finale against the Phillies. Only 6.5 games behind the Dodgers in the NL West, and at the same time helping to thin the herd around them for a wild card spot. Going for a sweep of Philadelphia this afternoon. Your Arizona Ford starter is Chase Anderson. Outstanding in his previous start last Friday here. He beat the Reds, his first start since July 18th, coming off the DL after right triceps inflammation.
And the really good news, in his 7 innings of work last time out, he only threw 87 pitches. Normally Chase is a guy that gets up to that 100 pitch mark somewhere around the 5th inning, but was very efficient. His velocity was great. The curveball was sharp. Really looked good last time out against the Reds.
That fastball had more jump to it. Velocity was up. And Chase said afterward he felt really good. Probably the best he's felt all year, especially with that curveball. Cesar Hernandez set to lead it off for the Phillies. Last time we see Philadelphia this year. Diamondbacks were swept at Citizens Bank Park back in May, and now trying to return the favor here at Chase Field in the middle of August. Hernandez, 290 and a homer, and getting on base at a 363 clip. And a good choice here for Pete Mackanin in the leadoff spot. Hernandez leading the Phillies in a walks and on base percentage, but he's down 0-2. Jim Wolf is our plate umpire this afternoon. Adrian Johnson at first, Bill Miller, the crew chief, is at second, and Doug Eddings at third. Used to be that Jim Wolf could never umpire Phillies games because his brother Randy was a longtime Phillies pitcher. It's a fly ball out to right center field, but it drops in. Hernandez, who's had a nice year for the Phillies, has a leadoff single. A lineup for Pete Mackanin's Phils. No Maikel Franco today.
Bruised left wrist after getting hit by a pitch last night. Cesar Hernandez will be at second base. Andres Blanco filling in for Franco. Blanco for Franco at third. Odubel Herrera in center field. Ryan Howard at first. Jeff Francoeur in right. Cody Ashe out in left field with Freddie Galvis at short. Cameron Rupp doing the catching for right-hander Aaron Nola.
And here is Blanco for Franco. There is Maikel Franco. X-rays negative. A contusion. He was really scared last night. The rookie third baseman all wrapped up there. X-rays negative. Thank goodness only a bruise. It looked bad and sounded bad. So he's got the day off, and Blanco's in at third.
He may have a few days off. I mean, we talk all the time about hand and wrist injuries for hitters, and he took a pretty good shot to that left wrist last night. Got to believe there's still some swelling in there. They have the compression wrap and the soft cast on there to try to keep the swelling down as much as possible, but it might be a few days before he's able to swing a bat again.
Franco said last night the only thing he thought when that ball hit him was that it was broken. And Phillies skipper Pete Mackanin thought the same thing. He heard it from the dugout and said, I thought for sure it was broken. Blanco at 280 and 2 homers. Blanco 1 for 5 in the series. Hernandez, you got to watch him down at first. He's got 17 stolen bases. He's been caught only 4 times. 1-2. This was Maikel Franco hit by Jeremy Hellickson in the first inning. You could hear it.
Yeah, just you know, it's unfortunate, but just a bad approach by Franco. Really opened up that front shoulder, and anytime you expose the front side of your body, your hands, your wrist, your face, there's a risk for injury.
And he's only about 25 plate appearances away from qualifying for the National League Rookie of the Year award, and he would certainly be in contention with Jock Peterson and Chris Bryant and some of the other NL rookies. 2-2 on Blanco. Hernandez bluffs and holds. This is hit out to Inciarte in right. Yeah, that's the first out. I mean, if you look at Maikel Franco and the numbers that he's put up this year, he rates with the Jock Petersons and the Chris Bryant, certainly. Matt Duffy has had a great year for the Giants.
We've got to look at everybody on that list. Of course, Franco not playing today, but we've got the Cardinals coming up later this season. Matt Duffy and the Giants. Of course, we see them a bunch. Go to Chicago to play the Cubs. We'll see Chris Bryant there.
We've seen Randall Grichuk, who's a very promising young player. And don't forget about Yasmani Tomas, who's right there. No Tomas in the lineup tonight. Odubel Herrera, the center fielder, another good rookie for the Phillies. 287 and 6 home runs. A converted infielder and a Rule 5 pick last winter. And since July the 1st, Herrera is hitting almost 360. was 0 for 4 last night, however. That snapped a 13-game hitting streak.
We're talking about rookies. Another guy that should be getting some recognition for the way he has pitched is Andrew Chafin. He's very quietly gone out and had himself a real nice rookie season. After starting some games last year, working in long relief as a lefty in the bullpen, he's done an outstanding job. Probably won't get the same kind of notoriety as some of the other names on that list.
He's got about 50 appearances, about a 2.5 ERA. He's got some big outs, and with the trade of Oliver Perez to the Astros, will be counted on to get even more here down the stretch. It's a young man's game, BB.
That's what I'm told.
They get younger every year. How's that work? 1-0 to Odubel Herrera. Hernandez holds. That one is in there for a strike. Guy that had a great rookie season last year, Chase Anderson. And no limits on him for the rest of the year, we are told. He's ready to go, says Chip Hale. Unusual open front foot of Odubel Herrera.
He just looks uncomfortable.
Breaking ball drops in there for a strike, and Chase is ahead 1-2. There's that curveball right at the knees. Just gorgeous. That's the pitch that looked so good in his last start. Tried one away, this time it missed, and it's 2-2. Ryan Howard on deck.
Haven't seen a lot of real patient at bats from the Phillies in this series. Kind of unusual here to see Herrera really grinding against Chase Anderson. They've been a group that has swung at the first and second pitch throughout the first 2 games of this series.
And this is a guy that has been a wild swinger up there early in the year. He's learned some patience now as Hernandez takes off. And Pete Mackanin says that Odubel is gradually learning to hit in the major leagues. He's still got some wild swings now and then. And you know, the skipper says he's fine with that. Nothing wrong with being aggressive and swinging and missing from time to time, especially if you're a 3-hole hitter. But he's a little more disciplined than when we saw him back in May. Hernandez holds this time. Shattered bat. Goldie has it, and they have to apply the tag. He stepped on the bag and then made the throw, which means the force was off on the play. Ahmed has to get the glove down, but Hernandez beats the tag. Glenn Sherlock on the phone with Alan Campbell, the video coordinator.
A little confusion there. Not only the ball going to the right side of the field, but the barrel of Herrera's bat whirly-birding out there on the right side. That ground ball led Goldie right to the bag. That's the right play to make. But with a speedy runner like Hernandez on at first base, you've got to make a perfect throw down there to have a chance to get him.
And so they won't challenge, and they'll quickly put the shift on for Ryan Howard. Bat went farther than the ball did.
I mean, in Goldie's defense, he had to throw either inside or outside the baseline to avoid the runner. And unfortunately, it was too far to the inside, and Nick couldn't get the tag back.
Ryan Howard. Yes, he went. Doug Eddings says strike one. Howard 235. He's got 19 homers, leading the Phillies in home runs and RBIs. And he has been a very productive bat lately. He's really picked it up. Chase ahead 0-2. He's got a piece of that fastball. Howard last 15 games hitting almost 320 with 16 RBIs. 3 home runs over that stretch. He sat out Monday's ball game, went 1 for 4 last night with a single.
Well, the Phillies came rolling into this series, hitting .356 as a team with runners in scoring position since the All-Star break. That's the best in the majors, but the Diamondbacks pitching staff has held them to an 0 for 16, make it 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position.
He goes away from the fastball and gets the strikeout. They strand Hernandez. Diamondbacks coming up. Runs, only the second time in franchise history they've put up that run total in consecutive games. The last time was 2001. Won't be that easy here this afternoon against a very promising young pitcher. It's the Arizona Ford starter for the Phillies. Rookie right-hander Aaron Nola just turned 22 years old in June. Their first-round draft pick last year, the 7th overall selection out of LSU. He's made only 4 big league starts, and he's already won 2 of them.
He just breezed right through the minor leagues for the Phillies this year. Part of the season in Reading, part in Lehigh Valley, combined to go 10-4 with an ERA of .239 in 18 starts in the minors. And you see his arsenal on the mound. He'll rely heavily on the two-seam sinking fastball. Curveball, as Bert mentioned, looks like a slider at times, kind of a slurvy breaking ball. Has a good straight changeup and occasional high four-seamer.
Now you'll see that curveball a lot. Just 4 starts into his big league career, and with Cole Hamels now in Texas, young Aaron Nola is their best pitcher. Ender Inciarte leads it off. Ender 292 and 3 home runs. He's 0 for 4 so far in the series. No Tomas and no Peralta both getting the afternoon off. Different look to Chip Hale's outfield here today. A.J. Pollock on deck. Missed at the knees with that fastball. It's 2-1. When you look for that curveball, it looks a lot like a slider. It behaves a lot like a slider, and you'll see it a fair amount. He's got 3+ pitches that go along with that fastball changeup. In there for strikes, says Jim Wolf. 2-2. And he works also, Bob, out of something of a unusual arm slot. It's a little low. There's not a ton of downward plate on the fastball, but the arm slot, the delivery do make it a little trickier for hitters to pick up the baseball, especially right-hand batters.
We talk a lot about the ability to recognize pitches quickly out of the pitcher's hand, and part of that is trying to figure out where is the ball coming from. Is he throwing high above his right shoulder? Is he sidearm? Is he somewhere in between? Where is that release point? Change up that time from Nola. So he's got some deception in his delivery out there because of that unusual dropped arm angle.
And Pete McCannon, their interim manager, says the thing that has impressed him about Nola so far is that he is really calm and collected out there. And he's says this guy really looks like a guy who knows what he's supposed to be doing out there, even though he's only had 4 big league starts. Came from a big time program at LSU. And when he gets in trouble, he doesn't seem to panic. You don't see him get emotional out there. He does figure out what's going on and make the necessary adjustments. So in terms of the makeup, it's a very advanced makeup, as you would expect from someone drafted 7th overall last year. Here's that curveball. And Ender drops it into shallow left, a base hit. As we said, Bob, a different look to Chip Hale's lineup this afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit of a different look. Ender Inciarte at the top end right field. A.J. Pollock out in center. Goldie once again at first base. Jake Lamb at third. Wellington Castillo doing the catching. Aaron Hill slotting in there at second base today with Jamie Romack in left field. Nick Ahmed at shortstop and Chase Anderson on the mound.
The scorching hot A.J. Pollock. He's hit safely in 5 straight games. Missed away, it's 1-0. AJ 311 and now 12 home runs. Another 3-hit night last night. He is 6 for 10 in the series, a double, a triple, a homer, and has scored 5 times in the 2 games.
And once again, maybe a slight disadvantage for Dave McKay, a pitcher that I'm sure they have some video scouting on, but it's always nice to lay eyes on a guy and see his move, see his delivery, see what moves first, if you think you can run on a guy or not.
Nola behind on Pollock, 2-0. D-backs at 500 at the start of play today, 56 and 56. Trying to get over the mountaintop. Inciarte holds, and that one's in there for a strike, 2-1.
That's called strike, but that's a good take by A.J. Pollock. You don't want to swing at a sinker down there at the bottom of the kneecaps. Probably end up getting into a 6-4-3 double play. You're in the driver's seat at 2-0. If it's not exactly the pitch you're looking for, take it and wait for the next one.
I always hear that 2-1 is the best hit run count. Is that true?
Yeah, it has been for years. That's been the conventional wisdom. You figure the pitcher doesn't want to go 3-1 and be forced into an obvious fastball situation. So he's probably going to throw a strike on that 2-1 delivery. And that's the key to any hit and run. You want the pitcher to throw a ball close enough to the plate that the batter can put it in play.
And they did indeed get the fastball in there for a strike, but Ender wasn't going anywhere, being held at first by Ryan Howard. So it's 2-2 on AJ. Inciarte takes off. He gets a great jump, and A.J. knocks it into left, and Ender's going to get third here. The foot is on the gas pedal. It rolled slowly into left, slow enough for Inciarte to pick up that extra 90 feet. He got a great jump on the pitch.
First baseman, number 44.
A curveball from Nola this time. A.J. Pollock wraps it into left field for a base hit. You see Ender on the move right there. The bag aggressively at second. Maybe a little casual coming into third base there. That was closer than it had to be, but you could see he was rounding the bag at second and coming into third at quite a severe angle there.
Well, as we found out last night, big things have small beginnings. And runners on the corners, nobody out for Goldie, the major league's leading hitter at 337. Missed with that breaking ball.
First 2 hits of the game for the Diamondbacks, both coming on curveballs from Aaron Nola that just really didn't break as much as I think he was anticipating. Left and right in the middle of the plate. Ender Inciarte on 2 strikes, slapped it into left field. Then A.J. Pollock ripped one through the left side.
Goldie tied with Nolan Arenado for the league lead in RBIs. And he and Bryce Harper, the only players in the majors with an OPS over 1,000.
Goldie looking to add to his first inning RBI total. He's driven in 22 runs in the first inning of Diamondback games this year. 2-0 changeup from the youngster.
That's a quarter of his RBI total for the season.
In the first inning, hitting nearly 380 in the first inning of games this year. 6 homers in the first inning of games this year.
Another 2-1 count. Inciarte at third, Pollock at first, nobody out. AJ holds it first. That pitch misses away, and Goldie's ahead 3-1 with Jake Lamb on deck. Nola laboring here. He's yet to record an out and approaching 20 pitches. Base hit, 1-0 Diamondbacks. AJ will take the turn and head for third. He's in there. Another first inning hit and RBI for Goldie. Diamondbacks start off the ball game with 3 straight singles. Stop me if you've heard this before. Some flashbacks to last night in the second.
Kind of a defensive swing from Goldie, but it works because of that big hole on the right side of the infield. It also allows A.J. Pollock to advance first to third.
Third baseman,
The line moving.
Well, as we said a minute ago, one of the things that Pete Mackanin likes about young Aaron Nola is when he gets in trouble, he doesn't panic. You don't see him get emotional out there, but he's in a mess. Down 1-0, still no outs, and here's Jake Lamb. Jake, 281 and 4 home runs. Rolls away from Cameron Rupp, and Goldie gets an extra 90 feet.
Ball just clanked off the glove of Cameron Rupp behind the plate. Looked like he was trying to frame a low pitch right there and just didn't get his glove underneath the pitch.
Yeah, you do indeed score that a pass ball. So it's AJ at third and Goldie at second. Still nobody out. 1-0 to Lamb. That's in there for a strike. Well, Jake was the guy last night. 13 runs, 15 hits, and he went 0 for 5.
Good team guy.
Somebody's got to make the outs. 2 for 10 in the series so far. He had a triple on Monday. Chance to make up for that right here.
I gave you the numbers in that last half inning. The Phillies had been hitting over 350 as a team with runners in scoring position. 0 for 17 in this series. Diamondbacks over their last 3 games are 17 for 35 with runners in scoring position.
Up the middle, Ray Galvis. This will get another run home, and it's 2-0. The RBI for Jake, and Goldie moves into third. Take a look at the Phillies defense before the Diamondbacks score another run here. Well, we have a chance.
Frank Pour out in right field. Odubel Herrera in center. Cody Ashley in left field. It'll be Blanco and Galvis on the left side of the infield with Hernandez and Howard on the right side. Cameron Rupp doing the catching for the young right-hander Aaron Nola,
who just recorded his first out. And now he'll deal with Beef Wellington. Wellington Castillo. 254 and 15 homers. 13 of those home runs have come with the Diamondbacks. Dropped that curveball in there and stole strike 1. This was Beef Wellington Monday, his 8th home run in 12 games.
And he says he's just looking for pitches up and out over the plate. That's where he likes to swing. That's where the barrel of his bat drives the ball best.
Here we go.
That's all you.
Oh,
just a little short.
I'm a little low on the UZR this morning. Just.
And the key, not only for Wellington, but just about every hitter in the Diamondbacks lineup recently, when they do get their pitch, they're not missing it. They're not fouling it out of play or hitting it on the ground. They are squaring it up and hitting it hard. Except for that.
Right off the handle. Goldie has to hold up at third. Boy, that thing came to eat. Right off the fists.
Second baseman, number 2, Aaron.
That's a self-defense swing right there. When you're fading away back toward the on-deck circle as you make contact, that's not a good sign.
Well, that's the way to pitch Wellington Castillo. He has been crushing everything outer half and away. And he's been patient when they come inside on him. He'll sort of let it go, but that time he just got jammed with 2 strikes, and then he almost had his hands taken off. Here's Aaron Hill.
And the adjustments we talk about in the game of baseball. I would imagine that you know, the Braves are watching, the Pirates are watching, the Reds are watching, and they know Wellington Castillo has been the hottest D-backs hitter. So how do we go about getting him out? What's he been hitting? What's he been missing? And their advanced scouts are making detailed notes down there as they watch this game. So I would imagine over the next week or 10 days, we're going to see Wellington Castillo pitched inside quite a bit.
Yeah, there's no question. Because he has just been death on anything on the outer half of the plate.
Of course, as a hitter, you kind of have to anticipate those changes. Opposing pitchers are going to make adjustments to what you're doing, and then it's up to you to make that counter adjustment. Maybe start looking for some pitches inside. We know Wellington can pull that ball to left field, no question about it. He's quick enough to do that if he's looking in there.
1-2 on Aaron Hill. A matchup of former LSU stars and first-round picks out of Baton Rouge. Aaron Hill gets this in the air toward the left center gap. Cody Ashley makes a lovely sliding grab to save a run and end the inning. But the Diamondbacks start out with 3 singles. They get 2 runs. Would have been more if not for this Ashley sliding grab. But after 1-0, it's 2-0 D-backs. Hey fans, now's the time. Tweet us your AZ Data Strong fan photo on the Brenly Committee. Before we hit the road here, we'll take a look and give it the utmost consideration, but we can only pick one winner, and we'll have that winner later in the broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile as Jeff Francoeur leads off the Philadelphia second against Chase Anderson.
And just so fans know, Luis Gonzalez is jetting over to Japan as we speak, so Jeff Munn is pinch hitting for Gonzo today.
And he's pinch hitting for the governor, Greg Schulte. Money will have the radio call on the duration of this road trip. And Money's going to have to double up between the breaks and look at some photos. And the interesting thing in watching Chase Anderson, there's Jeff Munn, the voice of Chase Field during the 2001 World Series. Chase Anderson, Bob, in that first inning, 11 of his 18 pitches were off-speed pitches, change-ups, curveballs.
We were just having the conversation about adjustments. Wellington Castillo might have to make an adjustment offensively because of the way pitchers are going after him. And Chase Anderson is a guy that normally establishes fastball, change-up early in the game and then mixes in the curveball. But apparently wanted to give the Phillies a little different look in that first inning, so he threw a lot of off-speed pitches.
And he's 3-2 on Jeff Francoeur. Shoots it down the right field line. And Jeff Francoeur has now hit safely in 9 straight starts. He's had a very hot bat lately.
Where will he be next week at this time? We've talked about it throughout this series. I still think this is a guy that could really help a playoff bound team with a big right-handed bat off the bench. Solid defender in the outfield with a strong throwing arm and a great presence in the clubhouse. What's not to like?
Last 14 games, Francoeur batting an even .400 with 4 home runs. Here's Cody Ashe, who made that nice sliding grab in left to win the Diamondback first. Saved a run. Shift is on here. And there's a strike. You see Jake Lamb, the third baseman, right next to second base, and Aaron Hill with his heels on the outfield grass. Ashe doubled in Monday's game. He's hit safely in 5 straight. Missed upstairs, 1-1.
All these exaggerated pull shifts that the Diamondbacks and just about every team in baseball are using, I think it's going to force a change in the spring training routine. And we saw the Diamondbacks do that. You have to be able to turn double plays out of this exaggerated pull shift, and that's your third baseman playing on the second base side of the bag. I mean, we saw the Diamondbacks do it on the short field a few times. They put the shift on and hit the ball to the right side just to see how that rotation works in order for somebody to get to the bag in the event of a double play ball.
We've seen a couple of times, in fact, when Yasmani Tomas had to turn that double play from the position in which Jake is standing right now. That's hit hard down the line and fair. Francoeur will head for third. They're going to wave him in. And they're going to stop him. They put on the brakes at the last moment there, as Ender Inciarte did a very good job of getting that ball back in. John Miserak, the third base coach, was waving him home and then suddenly changed his mind.
Just inside that right field line down into the corner. Ender Inciarte, I mean, this won't go as any specific kind of a play. He doesn't get an assist or a put out or anything, but the ability to get to the ball quickly and get it back in quickly and hold those runners. Don't let them take the extra 90 feet. That really plays big over the course of a long season.
So a single for Francoeur, a double for Ashe, nobody out. Phillies have a threat going in the second. And here's the shortstop, Freddie Galvis. 1 for 7 in the series so far. Stealing strikes with that off-speed stuff. Galvis 272 and 5 homers. Fastball down and away, quickly 0-2. Galvis last 35 games hitting over 300. 10 extra base hits. Francoeur third, Ashe at second. It's headed toward the seats and out of play, just off the Diamondback dugout. Freddie Galvis, a switch hitter. He's much better from the right-hand side, batting nearly .350 right-handed. He's hit far more often as a lefty, almost 3 times as much, in fact. But that's where the average drops by 100 points. Two on, nobody out. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Chase. One down in the second.
Good straight changeup that time from Chase Anderson, really fading off of that outside corner. To Galvis, it probably looked like a fastball on the outside corner coming out of Chase's hand. By the time he swung at it, it was over in the right-handed batter's box.
Boy, that is a ton of movement on that changeup. Cameron Rupp, the catcher.
Some pitchers at times will turn the changeup a little more. I mean, rotate their wrist out like you're turning a doorknob counterclockwise. And if you do that, you get a little more fading action, a little more side spin on the baseball, and can cause it to drop out of the zone the way that last one did.
Boy, that was a great pitch. This up in the air. We've got Frank Kohler at third. A.J. Pollock is under it, and they're off. Phillies on the board, 2-1. The RBI for Cameron Rupp.
He's drifted a little too deep out there in center field for A.J. Pollock to get behind it and maybe make a throw to the plate. I talked about Jeff Francoeur and his collection of tools. Fast running is not one of them. But just a little too deep for A.J. that time.
Odiashi stays put at second base, now 2 down. 2-1 ball game, and here's the pitcher, Aaron Nola. Strike one.
Oh, man, that's not fair. That's the same changeup he threw to Freddie Galvis, but this time he throws it off the plate away, and that late movement brings it right back to the corner.
Backdoor changeup.
If you can command that pitch on both sides of the plate, you're going to get a lot of people out.
He gets Nola out. Castillo completes the strikeout. That's 3 for Chase Anderson, but the Phillies get a run. Diamondbacks lead is 2-1.
Now, it may take hitters a little while to figure out where the ball is coming from. That was a two-seam fastball, the first delivery. This is his curveball. Now, we've tried to superimpose the two deliveries on top of each other, and you can see there's really not enough difference in that arm angle for hitters to discern from one pitch to the other. So you're just going to have to try to find that box out there where the release point is and try to read spin as quickly as you possibly can against this guy.
Well, the first three Diamondbacks reached with singles against rookie Aaron Nola. In the first, they got 2 runs. Phillies have got one back here. And Jamie Romack, in his first start as a Diamondback, leads off the second. And a pinch hit RBI double in Monday's win over the Phillies, his first hit as a Diamondback. And Romack just up from Reno this week. He'll be 30 years old next month. Only his second trip to the big leagues, signed by the D-backs in November. A high fly ball to right center field. Jeff Francoeur calling off Miguel Herrera. And that's the first out here in the second.
One down here in a second. Let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the game. Stay on the mountain. And for Aaron Nola, his name, Nola, New Orleans. Yeah. LSU, lives in New Orleans. Don't let the good times roll. That's the theme song basically for the city of New Orleans. 12 months a year. Let the good times roll. Not today, Aaron.
You have really weaved a tapestry of images with the Valley Honda keys to the game this year. It's almost literature. Here's Nick Ahmed, strike at the knees.
Ne laissez pas la bon temps rouler.
Pardon me?
So don't let the good times roll in French.
Wow. Did you look that up during the commercial?
I'm bilingual.
1-1. Nicely done. Baton Rouge. I've been down there. That is a tremendous facility. Alex Box Stadium. Great program. It's like going to a college football game when they play baseball at LSU. It's a big deal. Great atmosphere and a great tradition. It goes back a long time, even before Aaron Hill was playing there. You go in the facilities, all the pictures of all the big leaguers in their LSU uniforms. It's pretty impressive.
This guy's the only player to be named the SEC Pitcher of the Year twice.
Here's a shot toward the left field corner, but it won't stay through. Hey fans, Diamondbacks will be back here August 24th through the 27th to take on those first place St. Louis Cardinals. Bring the whole family down here with the D-backs value pack. It's only $19 and you'll get a ticket, a Subway sandwich, a Pepsi, and a cookie. The value pack. You can get a value pack for any game. You can buy them right now online, in fact, at dbacks.com/value. Drewitz rolls out there and feels that cleanly. Dave working the left field line, or Golden Glover down there with Jim Tolar set to go. Although I think he needs a bigger helmet.
Yeah, bigger helmet or a smaller head, one or the other.
He's got right field today. Blanco at third. Yeah. So after a rocky beginning, 3 straight singles, Aaron Nola has now retired 5 straight. He's settled in a bit.
Pete McCannon or the pitching coach Bob McClure for the Phillies, you might have to be a little concerned, though. Diamondbacks have had some good rips at his curveball in the early going. Really, the only one that locked up a hitter was the first pitch to Wellington Castillo. Kind of froze him in his tracks as it dropped over the plate for a called strike. But they've put some good swings on that curveball here in the early going.
Tell you what, though, he's been spotting that fastball right at the knees, especially first pitch fastballs. And he jumps ahead of Chase Anderson 0-2. That curveball that time on the 0-2 pitch and just did get a piece of it.
In your glove, a little extra reach that time. The guy had a first baseman's mitt, leaned over the railing, made a nice play.
There you go, nicely done. His D-backs gear on. Called strike 3. First strikeout for Aaron Nola. That's 6 in a row set down, but the Diamondbacks have a 2-1 lead.
Speed pitch is working well today. First pitch curveball for a strike right there. Gets Galvis on a changeup fading off the zone. This was a hanger. Fortunately, only a sac fly to center field by Cameron Rupp. Comes right back with a changeup on that outside corner, and then another curveball in the dirt to get Nola swinging. Really feeling that off-speed pitch today.
He's got 3 strikeouts through 2 innings so far, and the leadoff man will lead off the third again, Cesar Hernandez, who singled to open up the ball game. 2-1 Diamondbacks going for the series sweep and a chance to get over 500 on the year. Diamondbacks have not been above 500 since April 22nd when they were 8-7. Oh, 2.
Well, there's no question. We want the team to win every day. We like it when the good guys win, but we really like it when they win on getaway day.
Happy flight.
Oh, especially with an off day tomorrow.
Makes for good fishing. I hear.
Yeah. We will see.
I don't want to jinx it.
We hope the fish are bigger than the mosquitoes.
Off day tomorrow. We are on an airplane right after this ball game to fly to Atlanta. Off day tomorrow, 1st of 3 against the Braves on Friday at Turner Field. Have every game on this road trip for you. And every game for the rest of the season right here on Fox Sports Arizona. 0-2 on Hernandez. Speaking of the road trip, careful there, nice catch. How about that? On the stairs. Well, I want to give him extra credit for not wearing socks with the sandals. Nice work.
I fought the ball and the ball won.
Usually does.
And of course, you give it to your wife, tell her to put it in the purse. Everything goes in the purse.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Can you
just put it in your purse.
Aaron Hill from the outfield grass, one away. Valley Toyota, let's go places. This is the road trip. And how about this, Bob? We just came back from a 10-game 3-city tour. We're home for 6. We go right back out for 3 cities, 10 games. Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and 4 in the Natty.
Just long enough to do some laundry and repack the suitcase and head out on another 10-game trip. Braves a struggling team. The Reds a struggling team. Of course, Pittsburgh rolling along pretty good this year, but that'll be a good test on that road trip.
That's going to make 20 out of 26 on the road here for this stretch. That's no joke. Blanco flying out his first time. I think he needs a little more pine tar on that helmet.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Equipment managers absolutely hate that.
Well, you can just leave it on, right? Do you have to clean it every time? It's just going to get dirty again.
Yeah, but I mean, just packing these up, you can imagine after the ball game today, the equipment manager is going to have to put all this equipment, bats, helmets, everything, somewhere in a bag.
That is blasted and way out of here. Andres Blanco. That's his third, and it's 2-2.
He didn't know either.
I don't know. After that home run, don't touch a thing. Boy, he clobbered that one.
He hit that with a little bit of anger. He was upset with a call earlier in the sequence from Jim Wolf, and maybe took it out on that Chase Anderson pitch right there. Castillo was set up inside. The pitch was right out over the fat part of the plate. And Blanco, not a guy that hits a lot of home runs, but man, did he crush that one.
Well, you could see Wellington have to move the glove from the inner half. Odubel Herrera trying to bunt for a base hit, and it's a good one. Great play by Beef Wellington, but Herrera runs really well. Well, you've heard of a bloop and a blast. How about a blast and a bunt?
Ryan Howard.
Well, I mean, everything, the high leg kick, everything said he was going to try to swing the bat right there until the last possible instant. He dropped the bat down there, deadened the ball on the third base side, and even with a good play by Wellington Castillo, they weren't close to getting Herrera at first base.
He's got 11 stolen bases on the year. Shift is on now for Ryan Howard. Howard struck out his first time up. 2-2 ball game.
Pickoff attempt coming up.
Well, we have seen two fairly egregious location mistakes that Chase has made so far in the ball game, and they've both cost him runs.
Yeah. Hanging breaking ball that
Cameron Rupp.
Yeah, Cameron Rupp hit for a sac fly back in the second, and then a fastball that's straight out over the plate.
He's done a good job of starting with the off-speed pitches. We've told you about that, spotting the fastball, but it's a great example of it. It only takes a mistake or two to get you in real trouble.
Yeah, when things are going good, you hang a curveball and the guy pops it a mile high in the infield, and you take a deep breath and thank your lucky stars he didn't hit it out of the ballpark. But occasionally they're going to square him up and hit him a long way, like we just saw Blanco do right there.
Oh, and 1 on Howard. Well, the time on the DL clearly benefited Chase Anderson. The fastball had dipped in terms of the velocity and the location in recent weeks, but Friday, boy, consistent zip, 93, 95 or 6. Curveball looked good, threw it a lot. Trying to build off that start here, but it's a 2-2 ball game after Chase was taken to a 2-0 lead.
I like that. Even though there was no pickoff attempt, Wellington Castillo got himself into a position to snap a throw down to first base, and that forced Herrera to get back in on his belly. Anything you can do to shorten up that lead a little bit at first base.
Two and one. Goldie off the glove, he clanked it. We still have time to get one, and Herrera holds it second. Trying to turn that play, that double play, the 3-6-3 that they just missed on earlier in the ball game. He may have started the process a bit earlier.
deflection to the second baseman right there, and then right back to the bag for Goldie. Still have plenty of time to get Ryan Howard. I think it was interesting, though, at the tail end of that play, because of the exaggerated pull shift, there's nobody at third base. So once that runner is safely in at second base, somebody's got to get over there and cover. And that time, Jake Lamb and Aaron Hill were both sprinting toward third base as that play came to a completion.
And Herrera was ready to go. He was looking hard and thinking about it, but he stays put there. Chase at 50 pitches now, 38 strikes. And here's Jeff Francoeur. Try and keep Herrera close. Francoeur singled and scored his first time. And because that ball went off Goldie's glove and went to Aaron Hill, you score that ground out 3-4-3.
It seems like a small thing, but the fact that Goldie didn't chase after that ball after it clanked off his glove made it a much easier play at first than if Goldie had chased the ball and had to turn around and flip it to Chase Anderson covering the bag.
Yeah, that's well done. The idea that you can be thinking about what you're doing as it's happening clearly enough to know, all right, let that go. Someone behind me will pick it up. I got to get back to the bag at first.
Know the speed of the runner at the plate. You might have a little more time with some guys. Another look at that play. Golden deflects it. Aaron Hill right there to back the play up, and you can see how much time they have to get Ryan Howard, who's still not running well at all, but a good decision by Goldie to let Aaron Hill pick it up, go back and cover the bag, keep Chase Anderson out of the play.
Trying to strand Herrera at second, 2 outs, 1-2 on Francoeur. Chase Anderson in this third inning working at a Steve Traxel-like pace. It has been pointed out by some of the fans in attendance here today.
If Traxel was pitching, we'd still be in the first inning.
It was tough. Well, he wants it up, and Francoeur chases. That's the 4th strikeout for Chase Anderson. But Andres Blanco gets his 3rd home run, and we are tied at 2. Bottom third here, Chase matinee for you on Fox Sports Arizona. Phillies and D-backs tied at 2. DirecTV takes a look at our NL West standings. There it is, 56 and 56 for Chip Hale Ball Club. Only 6.5 back of the Dodgers for the division lead. And a chance to get over the 500 mountain. And just like in the top of the third for the Phillies, in the bottom of the third, their leadoff man will lead it off. It's Ender Inciarte, who singled and scored his first time up. The old businessman special. Skip out of work, come down here, working downtown. How about that stop by Ryan Howard? Spinning and snaring that one, taking extra bases away from Inciarte.
Center fielder, A.J. Pollock.
Ryan Howard can't run much at all anymore, but he is very quick down there defensively at first base, picking balls out of the dirt, and that time making a nice backhanded play on that Inciarte smash.
Businessman special also, the business women taking care of business. TCB. Or just plain Candy Crush. A.J. Pollock. A.J. singled and scored his first time up. We've talked a lot about David Peralta and how hot he's been, and Wellington Castillo, and almost sort of quietly A.J. Pollock has been just as good. Since July 1st, he's hitting over 350. He bangs that into center. Another 3-hit night last night for A.J. He's 2 for 2 so far today, and is now 8 for 12 in the series.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
Kind of lost in the shuffle of that offensive outburst yesterday was the fact that A.J. Pollock did have a stolen base in the first inning of the ball game, giving him 27 on the season. Look for him to run here again if he gets a jump.
And including today, A.J. has already scored 6 times in the series. Goldie an RBI single his first time up. Great day to come out to the ballpark. Wednesday getaway day matinee. Watch a couple of good young pitchers, Chase Anderson and Aaron Nola.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
How about this one? The Diamondbacks last night. This was something that would be almost inconceivable, certainly during the first half of the year, but they scored 13 runs last night in a game in which Goldie did not have a base hit. He was hit by a pitch and walked twice. David Peralta off today. Yasmani Tomas the day off. Here's the 1-1.
You scored 26 runs in 2 days, and your number 3 hitter has 1 hit in the series. That means a lot of guys are swinging it well.
Things are going well. They are feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Feel even better if they could close out this sweep. Get over 500. Dodgers are home against the Washington Nationals. That's Jordan Zimmerman and Clayton Kershaw. So you have Zimmerman, who's one of the best pitchers in the National League. He can do his thing in LA tonight. You can win this one. You're 5.5 back.
And the Giants are playing the Astros tonight. We know how good the Astros can be. That's Chris Heston against Scott Feldman in that ball game.
That's 0-0 right now. 4th inning. There goes A.J. He fouls it off. chance for all the home teams to win. We saw some history last night. The first time since Major League Baseball went to 30 teams, which would be, what, 98? That on a night where everyone was playing, all 15 home teams won.
How about that?
First time that had ever happened. There were 4 walk-offs last night, too. 2-2 pitch. AJ gets a great jump. There he goes. Goldie in defense mode, has to foul that one off.
Just a little too close for Goldie to take right there, even though AJ had a great jump, and you'd love to let him go ahead and steal that base. Yeah, you've got to protect your own at bat up there at the plate, and that time Goldie just had to stick the bat out and foul it off.
It's remarkable, Bob, how often and how consistently Diamondback base runners have gotten those kind of jumps this year. It's like they have a head start every time. Other than throwing over there more often, is there anything you can do if you're the opposing team?
No, I think the reason you're seeing some of those monster jumps over there, we've talked about it at length this season, is Dave McKay. He's got that checklist that he goes down. There's 8 points on his checklist that he checks on every pitcher the Diamondbacks face. And I don't want to go into any detail. That's his little cheat sheet that he uses, but it involves things like, you know, which body part moves first when he delivers home, which body part moves first when he comes over to first base on a pickoff attempt. And sometimes it is really glaringly apparent to a base runner. And if you can discern something from a pitcher's delivery to give you those kind of jumps, you might as well take advantage of it.
But it is amazing the kind of early breaks and jumps they get with Dave McKay down there at first. It's like they get a head start every time.
You know, one of the most basic ones, going all the way back to high school ball, a left-handed pitcher, when he throws to first base, has a tendency to look home to try to really decoy the runner. I'm going to make this pitch to home plate, and then they throw to first. When they're throwing home, they have a tendency to look right at the runner.
Got another jump there. It's ball 4. A delayed no call there from Jim Wolf behind the plate. And even, in fact, Bill Miller, the crew chief, the second base umpire, wasn't sure if that was a stolen base or ball 4. But it's a walk to Goldie. So it's 2 on, 1 out for Jake Lamb.
Ooh, close take right there. Maybe the fact that Cameron Rupp was coming up out of his crouch to throw to second base did not give the home plate umpire Jim Wolf a real good look at that low strike.
So Goldie aboard for the second time. He's at first. Pollock at second. Here's Jake Lamb, an RBI ground. That is first time up. And they have AJ picked off, but he scampers back to the bag just in time. Just ahead of Freddie Galvis. A little too close for comfort there. Oh.
I mean, that's more than just a crossover step. He took 3 or 4 steps toward third base before slamming on the brakes and just does get back underneath the tag.
Yeah. You look on his face.
This is what speedy base runners will do. Distract that pitcher, maybe make a mistake here to Jake Lamb.
And again, Aaron Nola, keep in mind, only 22 years old and just his 5th major league start. This is way up in the air to deep center. Herrera has room at the track. AJ and Golden will both move up. And they take an extra 90 feet. About as far as you can hit a deep fly ball to center field in this ballpark and have it not reach the wall.
AJ plays this perfectly. Read the ball. If you see that center fielder square up and face home plate ready to make the catch, you still have time to go back to the bag and tag. That's a long throw from that 407 mark to either third or second base, so both runners able to tag in advance.
They need a big 2-out hit from Wellington Castillo. Now remember, last time we saw Nola come inside and break the bat right at the handle on Castillo, a pitch that just ate him up on the fists. Let's see how they pitch him here. Start down and away. There's the strike. And Castillo He says part of his success has been sticking to a very specific approach up there. And his strength is pitches out and over the plate. So he's trying to stay out there. And if he doesn't get the pitch in the outer half, he's willing to take it. And occasionally now, pitchers are countering by trying to jam him inside. And that's what we saw in his first at bat.
Well, given the numbers recently for Wellington Castillo, I'd say stick with the program. 13 for his last 32 with runners in scoring position, including 5 homers.
Gone away twice so far. This guy does a pretty good job of keeping that fastball down and at the knees for strikes. He's not going to blow you away with velocity. It's low 90s, but he spots it really well.
He really does from that low arm angle. Just doesn't really give you much of a look at it when it's down there at the bottom of the knees. And you can see his velocity is not overpowering. I mean, 92 is a nice firm fastball, but more often than not, he's pitching at 89 to 90, 91.
Those pitches to Goldie, the one that he had to foul off, and then the one that he got the ball 4 call on. In that same spot we just saw that one.
Down, down.
I mean, look at that location there on pitches 1 and 3. It's just where you want it if you're the pitcher. One and 2. Got him. Good job there by the rookie Aaron Nola, who strands 2 and keeps it a 2-2 ball game. Hey fans, Goldie, AJ, Chip Hale, Derek Moore, they'll all be back. The lemonade guy at Chase Field next year, and we'd like to have you down here with us. Purchase a 28-game half or a full season ticket, and you'll get the best seats at discounted prices. Just go to dbacks.com/tickets for more information. You know you want it.
You know you want it.
And there is the #1 vendor in all of Major League Baseball, the lemonade guy, Derek Moore. 4th inning, 2-2 ball game, Phillies and Diamondbacks. Cody Ashe, Freddie Galvis, and Cameron Rupp 6, 7, and 8 in the Philadelphia 4th against Chase Anderson. Ashe doubled his first time up. Shift is on.
We'll get a chance to see #2 in the vendor race, the mustache guy from Pittsburgh.
Well, I hope there's there's no hard feelings, because we pretty much cost him the award, you and I. After Derek was down all those votes. Well, actually, already with 1 double in the ball game, and he's going to get another right here. That's his 18th double and his 2nd this afternoon.
Shortstop Freddie Galvis.
Got to keep it down.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the plate, about belt high. Curveball that just didn't get to the spot. Either that or Cody Ashley was sitting on curveball that time. He rips it down into the corner for his second double.
Brings up Freddie Galvis, who struck out his first time up. The shortstop. We talked a lot about Odubel Herrera, and he's got that wide open stance with that sort of bent front foot where he leans on his instep. Galvis has almost the same kind of unorthodox open stance. And he's never had any real power, Freddie Galvis, but when he went to this new stance, more open, it's allowed him to see the ball a lot better. He drops that in front of Pollock. They'll stop Ashley at third. And Galvis has a base hit. First two have reached for the Phillies in the fourth. That's now 7 hits against Chase Anderson.
Well, and technically that will be the Phillies' first hit with a runner in scoring position in this series, even though the runner did not score from second base. They're now 1 for 21 with runners in scoring position.
You have Ashley, the runner at third.
At the plate, catcher.
And Galvis at first. Here's the catcher, Cameron Rupp. Drove in a run with a sac fly RBI his first time. Good day to be at the ballpark. Glad you're with us. And a good ball game so far. 2-2. Here's Rupp with the pitcher Nola on deck. Chase Anderson, 16 of 17 first pitch strikes. Most of them with the curveballs and changeups. Double play ball here. Aaron Hill, Nick Ahmed, they roll it. But Ashley scores from third, and the Phillies take the lead.
Clearly see how Nick Ahmed avoided that sliding runner, leaving that right leg high up in the air after he came across the bag, so there was nothing there for the runner to slide into.
And Galvis was trying hard. He had his feet up there, coming in hard at second. On the outfield side of the bag. Aaron Nola, the pitcher, 1-1. He struck out his first time.
Hey fans, we invite you to play Kachinko by signing up at one of the 20 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game.
One and two. Nola's got that blue all over his bat barrel there. Banging it against the batting rack or something. Chase thought he had that one. Jim Wolf doesn't bite it. It's full 3-2. Oh, look at all that blue stuff.
I gotta check the baseballs. I mentioned it. It used to be you could tell if a bat was used in an American League game as opposed to a National League game because of the different colored ink.
Aaron Nola really barreling up that many baseballs?
I don't think so.
Using someone else's bat. Phillies get a run. They take a 3-2 lead. part by your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Rolling on the river in Arizona. Diamondbacks looking for a series sweep of the Phillies, but they trail 3-2 as we start the bottom of the fourth at Chase Field on a matinee getaway day game. That looks like a nice way to get away.
Oh, yeah, beautiful Tempe Town Lake. You can rent a kayak, a little electric motor mini houseboat, cruise around the lake. There's fish in there too.
Well, you can hang out at the Audi Club here at the ballpark, where the beer is flowing. Aaron Hill will lead off the Diamondback fourth against Aaron Nola. You know, we'd heard about Nola and his mound presence out there, his poise for a young guy, just his fifth start in the big leagues. And I have to say, he's had a couple of times where it really could have gone south on him, and he's found a way to limit the damage. But his former LSU Tiger, his fellow LSU Tiger, I should say, leads off the fourth with a base hit. See, Nola, first three reached against him in the first, two scored, but he limited the damage. Had 2 on, 1 out in the third, and kept the Diamondbacks off the scoreboard.
Missed a spot that time from one side of the plate to the other, and you know you can't sneak a fastball inside by Aaron Hill.
Jamie Romack. Jamie Romack flying out his first time up. Got the start in left field today. David Peralta gets the day off, as Manny Tomas as well. And Romack, who's been at AAA Reno all year, played mostly third base for the Aces, and Phil Nevin played a little second base as well. But he did play a bit in the outfield. This is nothing new for him. He's down 0-2. Because he's got a fair amount of power in that bat, Jamie Romack, he actually began his minor league career primarily as a right fielder and played a fair amount of left as well. Just does get a piece of that one in the strike zone to stay alive. Romack's only previous major league experience was 15 games with the Dodgers last year. And even with LA, he started a couple of games in right field.
Aaron Hill on with that leadoff single here in the fourth. He also ripped the ball to end that first inning, hit that line drive toward the gap in left center field that Ashe made a nice sliding catch on. Otherwise, Aaron would be 2 for 2 in this ball game.
Yeah, that saved a run. Goldie was at third when he made that catch. Shallow center. Herrera broke back. Now has to come in. Wow, we got a really bad read on that one. And it almost dropped in front. Odubel Herrera, he's a converted infielder now with the outfield and center field, and he did not get a good look at that one.
That speed is a wonderful thing. Misjudge a ball. He broke back a couple of steps before realizing that that ball was not going to carry out to him, and just turned on the jets and outran it. I mean, he's had some adventures in the outfield. This was the final out of Cole Hamels' no-hitter against the Cubs earlier this year. Herrera on the warning track ends up laying on his belly making the catch to save the no-no.
That may be one of the greatest final outs of a no-hitter in baseball history. Nick Ahmed. They were showing that Cole Hamels no-hitter on live TV here in Chase Field during batting practice in the game against the Milwaukee Brewers, and all the Brewers who were hitting at the time stopped to watch the last out. And when Herrera made that catch, I'll never forget the reaction of the entire team. Just went, oh! It was fun.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that comes off the bat of Chris Bryant, and your first instinct is, oh no, he hit it in the seats. And then you see that Herrera squared up on the warning track. He's got a chance to, okay, yeah, all right. And then Herrera goes down, oh no! And finally does make the catch.
Well, Pete Mackanin, the manager, admitted they were all concerned about Herrera would do in center field. A Rule 5 infielder converted into a center fielder here in Philadelphia from the Texas Rangers. But they have a very specific policy that works out with Herrera because he's so aggressive up there. McCannon says, in terms of the outfield play, the center fielder has to be the guy who wants to catch every ball. He says that's his policy as a manager. The center fielder tries to catch everything until he can't get it, and then the corner guys help out. And Herrera kind of plays that way. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you want an aggressive center fielder. The center fielder, as we've said many times, is the captain of the outfield. He takes anything he thinks he can get to. And I think with more playing time out there, and Herrera will get better at reading the ball off the bat. Not only using his eyes, but using his ears. Sometimes you can hear contact, and you can tell the difference whether a ball was squared up or was it hit out near the end of the bat.
Well, they feel that that's the attitude you need to be or have to play center field for the Phillies, and Herrera, in Pete McCannon's mind, has proven so far to be that guy.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Well, Nola gets Ahmed to pop out. 2 down now for Chase Anderson, who struck out looking his first time up. Looking for some of that magic that Jeremy Hellickson had at the plate last night.
Oh, Jeremy, I tell you, that's not magic. That's just good hit.
A pitcher with a pair of RBI base hits in the same inning. No one had done that since Greg Maddux in 1999. There's Jeremy Hellickson. A 2-run single in the second, followed by an RBI single in the second. And Anderson bunts it back to the mound. Nola's on it and throws him out. And once again, the rookie strands some Diamondback base runners. He keeps it a 3-2 ball game. By Oregano's Pizza Bistro, your neighborhood pizza joint. We are athletic supporters. And by Card Power from Arizona Federal Credit Union. Now that's the power of us.
Welcome back. I'm Kate Longworth. Today's matinee features Chase at Chase. The Diamondbacks righty is making his second start since coming off the disabled list. And in my web exclusive with the starter, he explained exactly why the layoff was crucial for his game and also discussed what he's doing specifically to avoid being taxed mentally or physically as he logs more innings than he's ever done in his career. Coming into today, he was at 112 innings pitched. And Bob, I think you'll like this. When I asked him specifically about those 7 shutout innings on Friday night, he gave all credit to his battery mate. Head to foxsportsarizona.com to find out what Wellington did to bring out the best in Chase.
I think all pitchers realize that any success they have is because of the guy behind the plate. It's very wise of Chase to realize that.
You were just teed up on that one. Slam dunk. So how about this? Here's Cesar Hernandez, the Phillies leadoff man, and he's led off in all 3 at bats. Broken bat right back to Chase. He led off the first, the third, and now the 5th. Talk about the innings. Chase last year saw a big innings increase. 2 years ago, 88 innings at AAA Reno, where he split time between the rotation and the bullpen. Last year, just as a starter between the majors and the minors, he actually threw 153 innings. So he's at 112 right now, so he's still well under what he was last year. Blanco. But it was a big increase last season, 65 innings, in fact, over the previous season. So a big jump up. But he's on pace right now to be just about, I would think, right where you'd want him at this point in the year. It's a 112 after 153 last year, 154. Blanco homered his last time up.
You mentioned Cesar Hernandez, the leadoff hitter for the Phillies, leading off the game, the 3rd, and now again in the 5th. The same thing's going to happen for Ender Inciarte in the bottom half of the inning.
One of those weird baseball oddities. 70 pitches for Chase, 52 strikes. That one is in there. 2-2. This was Blanco, who got a hanger and didn't miss it.
You could see Chase's reaction out there on the mound, immediately bent over at the waist with his hands on his knees. He's heard that sound before.
Three and two. Yeah, the command has not been quite as crisp and sharp as we saw it last week. Ball strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Anderson. 2 down in the 5th.
Center fielder Odubel Herrera.
Fading changeup once again. Blanco could not hold up. Looked like the pitch was on the corner anyway. But a swinging strike 3.
Odubel Herrera. And a beautiful bunt base hit his last time up. Perfectly placed. He's 1 for 2. Not bunting there, but Ahmed is behind the bag. And a quick 1-2-3 fifth for Chase Anderson. Diamondbacks trail at 3-2.
Day in Major League Baseball history, August 12, 1987. The Tigers trade some young snot-nosed right-hander named John Smoltz.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know. To the Braves for Doyle Alexander. I mean, in the short term, it certainly worked out well for the Tigers. Well, Alexander went over there and went 9-0 with a 1.53 ERA to help lead the Tigers to the AL East title. But John Smoltz went on to win 213 games, 154 saves, pitched 21 years in the big leagues, and ended up in Cooperstown.
Bad trade. Ender Inciarte. You know who John Smoltz's roommate was when he was in the Tigers minor league system when he got traded? Steve Phillips, former Mets GM.
Really?
Yeah. When Steve Phillips was still a player. Ender singled and scored in the first. He's 1 for 2. Aaron Nola 70 pitches, 50 strikes, and Ender's got a base hit. Slaps it the other way, leadoff single. Once again, Aaron Nola will have traffic around him on the bases. And for the most part, he's contained the damage so far.
Oh, that is such an easy, controlled swing. Let the ball get deep into the hitting zone. It seems like a left-handed hitter could do that just about every pitch. Just let it get deep and slap it the other way.
Chatting up Ryan Howard down there. Well, here's A.J. Pollock, who just white hot right now. 2 for 2. Couple of singles, he scored a run. He had another 3-hit night last night. 8 for 12 in the series so far.
I mentioned an inning ago that Aaron Hill could easily be 2 for 2 in the game had it not been for the great play by Cody Ashley out in left center, and Ender Inciarte could easily be 3 for 3 if not for the good play by Ryan Howard down there at first base, taking away extra bases.
He's got these. He's had them all year, but I still have to figure out what they are. He's got these little patches on his batting glove. They're the neon green things. They look like they got Velcro on there. It's like a little box or something on there.
Maybe those magnets that are. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
I have to ask him about that.
He's got one on one hand. The other hand looks like he's got 2 or 3. Yeah, there they are, right there. Velcro or something.
I think they're called swing accelerators.
Well, they're working. I can tell you that. Yeah, there's a good shot of them from our crew. Great job.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what those are all about.
Looks like he's been writing on them too with a Sharpie or something. Oh, 1 pitch. Ball going third, kicks it, and they will get one. Adrian Johnson says out at first. That was a terrific double play opportunity for the Phillies, but they settle for 1 out as Ender moves into second.
Blanco, normally a very sure-handed fielder. That's been his calling card in the major leagues for a long time, and just kicks that one down there at third base, but has the wherewithal to stay with it, fire across in time to get A.J. Pollock at first base.
Saw Glenn Sherlock on the phone with Alan Campbell, the video coordinator. If it's not an out until the ball is in the back of the mitt, they may have a case because that's in the heel of the glove. And I think Chip Hale is going to come out and tell Jim Wolf they want a challenge. Remember, on those plays, fans, we've told you this before, it's a catch when the ball is in the back of the mitt, the pocket. That appeared to be in the heel of the glove. And they're going to challenge. They're going to get Bill Miller, the crew chief, in from second, and Adrian Johnson, the first base umpire. Headsets are coming out here. There's going to be a little conference first, though. Yep. So Jim Wolf, who got involved in the call, he's not the crew chief, he's not the first base ump. He informs the 2 umpires who are involved exactly what the Diamondbacks will challenge. And here's another challenge, another replay review brought to you by Mix One. The key is, where is the ball in the mitts? Right there in the heel of the glove. I'm not sure if that counts as a catch or not.
Yeah, that's kind of picky there. I mean, I think the determining factor is going to be if the umpires felt he had control of that baseball. He takes a big hop and comes up and catches him in the heel of the glove instead of the pocket of the glove. But I think as long as he has possession of the ball, I think the back of the pocket thing is probably secondary to having control of the baseball.
Doesn't look like the ball's moving too much.
Tried to clamp his left hand on top of it. Looks like he ended up with his forearm or his wrist holding that ball in the glove.
Take another look from a different angle. The juggling act seems to be after AJ's already run through the bag. I figured they had a shot here. Why not take it? Because if you get this one right and you overturn the call, you've got 2 on, nobody out, and Goldie coming up.
In slow motion, it's not as clear cut as it appeared with the naked eye. I thought Ryan Howard had control of that baseball before AJ got to the base, but upon further review, it looked like he was juggling it a little bit, trying to trap it in the heel of his glove with his left hand.
And Ryan Howard makes his case right here. Yeah, I had it right there in the glove, right in the heel. Telling Dave McKay, actually.
Tell it to the judge.
They're looking at it in New York right now. Let's take a look real speed. Does he control it at first?
Rolled his glove around and was moving his left hand. It looks suspicious.
Sure did. It's taking a long time. Doesn't bode well for the Diamondbacks, because if you have clear and convincing evidence, which is what you need to overturn the call, you'd probably have it by now. Noah's been keeping loose out there with a few warm-up pitches, but he's had enough. Bill Miller and Adrian Johnson still on the headsets. Diamondbacks on an airplane right after this ball game. Start a 10-game road trip, off day tomorrow. It starts Friday in Atlanta. Here's the call. He is out at first. So the Diamondbacks lose the challenge. AJ is out. Inciarte is at second with 1 out. Paul stands, which means they could not find the clear and convincing evidence they needed.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
So it's Inciarte at second, 5-3 at first on the putout of Pollock, and here's Goldie. Goldie so far has an RBI single and a walk. He's 1 for 1. He has homered just twice in his last 40 games. Paul Goldschmidt, 22 on the year.
And don't think the Diamondbacks' reputation as a base-stealing team didn't precede them before this start today. 12 pickoff attempts already for Nola. We're only in the 5th inning.
One and 0. He had a clean 1-2-3 second. Other than that, he's had at least 2 base runners. Well, no, pardon me. At least 1 base runner on in every inning. 4 of the 5 so far. Play on at second.
It always draws some boos from the fans when a visiting pitcher holds runners closely like Nola is doing here today. But in a 1-run game, if you can shorten that lead by a step, it may make the difference in a play at the plate.
Alva sneaks in from behind Ender that time, but he's back safely. Try the same play with different middle infielders to give things a different look. Sneaks in behind him.
Well, that's just a daylight play by the shortstop. You saw him reach his glove out to his left. That's the sign to the pitcher that I'm going to continue all the way to the base if you want to turn around and throw the ball. And they did, but it was too late.
You got Hernandez, the second baseman, directly behind the bag, and now he'll back off. And Goldie takes a strike, 1-1.
For the shortstop, it's the glove hand that they extend toward the base, letting the pitcher know that they're going to be there. And for the second baseman, it's usually the right hand, the open right hand extended toward second base.
In the air, right field, Francoeur running near the line. That drops in for a base hit. Inciarte is going to score, and Goldie heads for third. We're all tied up. We found a dead spot out there, and it dropped in no man's land. 3-3 ball game.
Dropped in fair territory down that right field line and then skittered into foul territory. It looked like Francoeur overran the ball a little bit. That gave Goldie the opportunity to end up at third base. Yeah, he boxed it off the side wall down there.
It spun away from him, too. It had a whole bunch of spin on it. They rule it a triple for Goldie.
He's taking the lead away from Nolan Arenado for the time being. The Rockies play the Mets later today.
So now he's leading the majors in batting average and leading the National League in RBIs. 3-3. He's at third with 1 out for Jake Lamb.
Run scored by Ender Inciarte, the 511th run scored this year by the Diamondbacks, leading the National League by 10 now over the Colorado Rockies.
Base hit. Diamondbacks lead it 4-3. That's Jake's second RBI today. That's 3 of the first 4 Diamondback batters in this inning with base hits.
Hit right down the barrel of the bat for Jake Lamb. Infield drawn in. That's a sure RBI base hit into left field.
Back and forth we go. Diamondbacks had a 2-0 lead. Phillies got 1 in the second, 1 in the third to tie it 2-2. They added 1 in the fourth to lead it 3-2. Now the Diamondbacks, as Bob McClure goes out there, get 2 to take the 4-3 lead.
We saw Ender Inciarte start this inning with an opposite field single, and Jake Lamb most recently. And watch both these approaches. Let the ball get deep. Just drive it to the opposite field. Jake Lamb pitches a little bit lower, but he lets it get deep, drives it the other way. It just looks so easy when the rhythm is perfect, like it was on those 2 swings.
Rhythm is going to get you. Here's Wellington Castillo 0 for 2. Curveball in there to steal strike 1. It is very unusual movement on that curveball. It sure looks like a slider, but we are assured by the Phillies people it's a curveball. I guess with that funky low arm angle, he's got some unusual movement on it. Nola now at 80 pitches, 58 strikes. Again, they try to come inside on Castillo. He lays off, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Well, yesterday it was everybody up and down the Diamondbacks lineup with the exception of Jake Lamb, who were contributing offensively. Today it's been mostly the guys at the top. The 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Diamondbacks combined 7 for 11. Scored all 4 runs, driven in all 4 runs.
Inciarte, Pollock, Goldschmidt, Lamb. 2-1. Drives it to center. Herrera. Boy, that frozen. That's the second time that he has not picked up the ball off the bat, Odubel Herrera. He was stuck in his tracks there for a while before he finally picked it up.
Second baseman, Aaron.
When a strong power hitter takes a full swing like Wellington Castillo did right there, your first reaction is and should be to hold your ground until you really get a good read on the baseball. And once again, that comes with more experience. You see where the ball makes contact with the bat. Did he hit it off the barrel? Did he hit it off the handle? Did he hit it near the end? What did it sound like coming off the bat? And that will help you get better jumps.
Aaron Hill, that one is down in the gap. Jake Lamb is headed for third. And he's in there. Aaron Hill at second, and he is in there as well. They want to challenge. Cesar Hernandez signaling to the bench. Challenge Bill Miller's call there. And in the meantime, Jake Lamb comes in, but they're going to send him back to third. Time had been granted, apparently. That's what Chip Hale is going to come out here and make double sure of. Who called time out?
Who called time? I mean, all the Phillies were looking into the first base dugout, asking Pete Canada to appeal that call. I didn't see anybody request timeout or call timeout.
Doug Eddings is insisting, and Jim Wolf behind the plate as well. The time was called. The throw into second sure looked like it beat Aaron Hill in plenty of time to get him, and that's the case that Hernandez is making here. That throw is in there well ahead of him. And he got him on the hand. Yeah, he's out.
I don't think this one's going to take long.
Headset's coming on. And in the meantime, Jake Lamb, and, you know, it's interesting here that we got on Jake Lamb on Sunday for not running all the way to the bag on the Owings walk-off. Here, Jake is locked into what's happening on the bases around him.
Just keep running until they make you stop.
But, another challenge brought to us by Mix One. This one is fairly clear-cut. Showing a replay on the board right now, and it sure looks like. In fact, the Phillies are coming off the field.
The players have pretty much conceded. Aaron Hill's walking off the field. The Phillies, they're headed for their dugout.
You're supposed to stay out there just in case, but the glove, it looks like, clearly gets on the hand before Aaron can touch the bag.
He broke his momentum just enough around first base to slide into that tag at second. He had to wait and see where the throw was going to go, and when he saw it was a high throw to third base, that's when Aaron decided to try to go on to second. Put the relay throw right on the money.
Sets are coming off, and he is out at second base. So the Phillies win the challenge, and the call is overturned. Another replay review brought to you by Mix One. But the Diamondbacks, as we update our standings, the Mix One replay review scoreboard, the backs get 2, and they retake the lead. It's 4-3.
baseman, Ryan Howard.
Diamondbacks push across a couple of runs in the bottom of the fifth to take a 1-run lead in this game. Jay Clam, the runner at third, got a little help from the skipper. Go, 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 go!
Ryan Howard leads off the sixth for the Phillies. Diamondbacks now lead at 4-3. Chip Hale's ball club looking for the 3-game sweep and trying to get a game over 500. Howard so far 0 for 2. Lines that one fair down the right field line. And he is not running at all well. They may have a player at second, and he is in there. Boy, Ryan Howard moving so slowly around that bag. They really did have a chance to get him there on what looked like a sure double. Wow. Especially with the way that Ender Inciarte throws from that corner.
That was a great throw from Ender, but that's one of the best picks you will ever see a shortstop make on a tough hop all the way from the right field corner and then get the tag down quickly enough to at least make it a close play. Man, nice job.
Boy, he can barely run, Ryan Howard. Coming off knee and Achilles injuries. Look at that.
What a pick.
Keith Hessler started throwing, the left-hander in the Diamondback bullpen. As Jeff Francoeur steps in.
He makes great plays even when we don't get out. Man, some kind of hands.
The Yukon Husky. Francoeur singled and scored in the second. He's 1 for 2. Look at Ryan Howard. I mean, this is a sure double, but he can barely run. Look at that. I mean, that's tough. Remember, he blew out his Achilles on the final play of the season a couple of years ago. Wellington Castillo out to the mound now. He's just lost so much mobility. He can still pick it down there at first. We've seen that. Here's Hessler in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. That was the end of the 2011 season. And played only 71 games the following year. Then 2013 played only 80 games, had knee surgery. So that lower half is really in tough shape. There's a strike, 2-1. To everything, you have to make absolutely certain, and that one was close enough for Ryan Howard to stay put. Francoeur 2 for 3, and once again Chase Anderson is in trouble.
Well, not for long. It looks like Chip Hale's on his way to the mound. That hard hit ball into left field. Ryan Howard not even able to advance to third base.
Nick gave it the Superman leap there, and that's going to do it for Chase Anderson at 80 pitches. He leaves leading 4-3, but responsible for 2 base runners. Nobody out in the 6th. Back after this. Sports 1 is back Saturday. It's a doubleheader full of postseason implications. It's the Angels and the Royals, followed by the Nationals and the Giants. Coverage begins at 4 o'clock only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, so far so good for lefty Keith Hessler. He has looked very promising after starting the season at Class A Visalia. Went to AA Mobile, AAA Reno, and now here he is in the big leagues. And he inherits a 2-on, nobody out mess.
2 appearances for Keith Hessler, 2 clean innings, including a strikeout of National League Home Run Derby winner Todd Frazier and Jay Bruce against the Cincinnati Reds in his first appearance on RJ Day.
Ryan Howard is the runner at second. Jeff Francoeur at first. Goldie will play in front of the runner. And Lamb in at third as Cody Ashe fouls off the bunt attempts. Ashe 2 for 2 so far. A pair of doubles. He scored a run. Carves that one toward the left field corner. Long way to go for Romack, but it's in the seats. Diamondback bullpen gets busy again. They have a right-hander up down there. It's David Hernandez.
Well, after the long outing by Jeremy Hellickson last night, 8 strong innings, only 1 inning out of Addison Reed. The bullpen should be fairly well rested and ready to go today.
You've got the switch hitting Freddie Galvis on deck. 0-2 pitch. Keith Hessler, big guy out there, 6'4", 215, 26 years old. His first stint in the big leagues. Some little fanatics with us here at Chase today. Bounce to first. They'll get one as the runners move up.
Shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
So it's Galvis. It's all about matchups. Now, when you bring in the lefty, you flip Galvis around to the right side where he's batting nearly .350 this year. The sample size is a little smaller, but he's had good results this season as a right-hand hitter. Howard at third, Francoeur at second.
Well, for Freddie Galvis in that right-handed batter's box, got a wide open stance, and his left foot he'll raise up on his toe. And as Keith Hessler's out there getting ready to deliver, he kind of rocks back and forth on that left toe. And that last pitch, I think he was almost out of the batter's box toward the dugout. Very close.
It is out of the batter's box when the pitch is being delivered. And it's not close because we can see from right behind home plate, high above here, that front foot is way out of the batter's box. At least it was on that last pitch.
Once again, the Gonzo rule, we used to call it, any part of the foot in contact with any part of the line and you're considered to be in the box. But you can see how he kind of creeps back with that left foot.
It's inching its way out there. 1 and 2 now.
And every time it looks like he stops right on the edge of that batter's box before stepping completely out of it.
Well, it worked for Gonzo.
Yeah.
Brooks on her phone again. You're busted. Reaches out, just does get a piece of it. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, is on deck. Base hit. Howard scores. They stop Francoeur. It's 4-4. Galvis 2 for 3.
Catcher, Cameron Rupp.
Got out on his front foot right there, but kept his hands back. Got just enough of that to get it over the head of Nick Ahmed into left field.
Not a terrible pitch. It was down and in, not a strike as you saw on Fox Tracks there. So Francoeur is at third, Galvis at first. A run in, still only 1 out, and here's Cameron Rupp. 4-4 ball game. Rupp 0 for 1. He hit into a double play his last time up. Drove in a run with a fly ball out back in the second. Ball 1. Pitcher spot is due up next. That's Aaron Nola, but Darren Ruff is in the on-deck circle. And the Phillies will get action going in their bullpen. So Ruff will follow Rupp. At least that's the plan. This is it. So a lot of catcher up there at 6'2", 260.
Big boy.
This is way out to right. And the big boy hits it a long way. A 3-run homer, and it's 7-4 Phillies. Cameron Rupp is 4th of the year.
Ball to the opposite field and can stand at home plate and admire it. You know you got every bit of it. A little bit of a bat flip there, just kind of jogs down that first baseline. He knew he got enough of it to clear that wall and right.
Oh, he had the right-hander up with the bullpen, but they let Hessler, the lefty, face the righty Rupp, and he burned him for a 3-run homer. And now it's 7-4 Phillies, and here comes Hernandez back after this. Break. He has selected our AZ Data Strong fan photo from Chris. He's got the zombie bobblehead there. A lot of D-back gear on. That's a pretty solid job, I think, BB, on a money here. A lot of pressure on him going into this road trip.
I'd call that one a check swing. Let's appeal down to first base. Nah, that's a swing and a miss, Money. Come on now. Got to be better than that.
Wow. I know we're behind now 7-4, but
I get bitter when we lose the lead.
I was going to say a little grumpy there. That's our AZ Data Strong fan photo of the game, brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's the right-hander David Hernandez on to face Darren Ruff, who hits for Aaron Nola, the pitcher. I was going to say, job well done, money. He didn't go, says Adrian Johnson. So.
It's a long road trip. I'm afraid if we give money a false sense of security too soon, he'll just glide through the road trip. I want him to pay attention.
So it's a motivational tactic.
Yeah.
All right, now I understand. Broken bat, one hopper. Ahmed plants and throws. 2 down.
You have to know which buttons to push to get the best out of guys.
The great leader of men. Well, the Diamondbacks in the opener of this series had a big 6th inning. They scored 6 runs. It's been a 4-run Phillies 6th here in the series finale. And with 2 down, it's the leadoff man, Cesar Hernandez. Jake Lamb comes in at 3rd. Ball 1. Well, money seems to be taking it pretty well, I have to say. Working the radio alongside Tom Candiotti just to our right here. And the governor gets some well-deserved time off.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's heading back up to Alaska. Another cruise.
Pitcher spot is due up.
There's Jeff Munn. I don't know what Leo's doing. He looks confused.
Perpetually.
Here he is, Leo Gilmartin. Trying to look casual, like he's not paying attention to the monitor.
Busted.
Base hit for Hernandez, who's 2 for 4. It's the 5th Philadelphia hit in this inning.
Beat it right in the ground, right past Hernandez, right in the center
Third baseman, Andres Blanco.
Some of the balls hit this inning kind of sound the way the balls that were hit last night. Just loud. A couple of Monday night by the D-backs hitters.
Jeff Munn, Tom Candiotti, Leo Gilmartin on Diamondback Radio. Here's Andres Blanco, who homered in the 3rd, his 3rd of the year. Close down there. Hernandez back in time. Well, this one has turned into an offensive show as well, just for the wrong side, but a lot of base hits either way. 12 for the Phillies and 9 for the Diamondbacks. D-backs have left 5 so far. Phillies have stranded 3. We are on an airplane right after this ball game to start a 10-game road trip, off day tomorrow. And the next game comes your way on Fox Sports Arizona Friday afternoon. That's a Diamondback Live pregame show, 4 o'clock start here at the great state of Arizona. Robbie Ray and Julio Teheran. Corbin Fultonevich Saturday. Ruby and Shelby Miller Sunday. That'll be good. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. I don't know how these guys lay off pitches that close. On the run, David Hernandez. Cesar Hernandez with off for the pitch, and now we check on David. Ryan DePanfilo, the assistant trainer out there, looking at looks like the left foot.
Ooh, right on the inside of that left ankle. He immediately goes down. That ball was deflected up in the air. I don't believe it ever touched the ground. So if one of the Diamondbacks infielders could catch that ball in the air, ends the inning.
Blanco blistered that one and caught him right on that. Looked like right on the ankle bone there. Ryan DePanfilo Keeping a close eye.
I think this is going to be good.
Well, we have a moment. Let's keep you abreast of what's happening in Seattle right now, where the Mariners are leading the Orioles 3-0. Hisashi Iwakuma, who we saw pitch on our last road trip at Safeco Field, has a no-hitter going through 8 innings. He has 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. So Hisashi Iwakuma of Seattle is 3 outs away from a no-hitter at Safeco Field, where they lead the Orioles 3-0. Keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted, let you know how he makes out.
I think David's done. He didn't look comfortable with his warm-up pitches, really having trouble putting weight on that left foot.
And so Hernandez will exit the ball game. Phillies with 6 hits and 4 runs in the inning. They will send their 9th man to the plate. The question is for the Diamondbacks, who will pitch? Find out when we come back.
Quite the trek to watch the Diamondbacks today. Jackson, where are you from?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. So, Dad, you're going to see temperatures in 115 this week while you're visiting Grandpa out here. So how cold did it get in the winter back home in North Dakota?
It's about negative 45 degrees wind chill.
You're liking the dry heat right about now, and I know you're out here. Grandpa lives out here. So how great is it growing up in a state where you guys don't have a baseball team that your son now can grow up a Diamondbacks fan?
Yeah, every time we come down to Arizona, we try to go to, Cardinals games or Suns games, Diamondbacks games. So we really enjoy it down here.
So fans are for the Diamondbacks everywhere across the United States, we're learning. And my husband is from North Dakota, so the comment he always gets when he says where he's from, people say, oh, wow, I never knew anyone from there. Or they say, oh, I've been to Mount Rushmore, which is actually in South Dakota. So please tell us, what is North Dakota known for?
Farming and pheasant hunting.
Not bad. What do you think, Jackson? How great is North Dakota? Do you love living there?
Yeah.
And I know you love coming to the Diamondbacks game, because what are you going home with? What are you taking back to farming and pheasants out there?
Tell them.
What?
Baseballs.
Baseballs.
That's right. Jackson is loving it. He's going home with some souvenirs. They were here before the game, really just maxing out their time here, and then they'll go home and do some pheasant hunting. Guys?
Oh, nice job, Dan. Of course, North Dakota, the home of Roger Maris. He was from Fargo, North Dakota. And on in relief of the injured David Hernandez is the right-hander Josh Colemancher, who gets ample time to warm up here after Hernandez took that Blanco shot right off the ankle. And of course, the Diamondbacks are already without Randall Delgado, who had an ankle injury of his own. He was supposed to pitch in a rehab game and possibly join the Diamondbacks for the road trip to Atlanta. That's actually supposed to be today, I believe. Randall suffered that sprained ankle in Seattle on the last road trip. So now Hernandez may be down as well. We'll find out.
At the plate, center fielder,
So here's Odubel Herrera, the 9th man to bat in this Philadelphia 6th inning. And Clemente, 4 runs already in the inning, as Hernandez at second, Blanco at first, 2 outs. And Herrera up there, 1 for 3. Strike 1. Herrera's hit was a bunt single back in the 3rd. He has twice grounded out. Phillies have now scored runs in 4 of the 6 innings so far. 1 each in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and it's a 4-run 6th. And that'll take care of it. Goldie has that one, and Clemente strands 2, but the Phillies get 4. They lead it 7-4. Iwakuma is in the 9th inning with a no-hitter, and just to our left here, working Phillies TV, is Ben Davis, who once broke up a perfect game against Curt Schilling with a late bunt attempt. I know it's one of your favorite plays.
It was actually the first game of a doubleheader, so you have to talk to the media between games of the doubleheader, and I didn't quite have enough time to cool down after that. Some rather unsavory things about Mr. Ben Davis and his knowledge of the game of baseball, but more importantly, I was sticking up for my guy Schill. You know, you got to show support, and it wasn't hard to do.
Well, they are underway now in the top of the 9th inning at Safeco Field, Seattle. The Mariners lead the Orioles 3-0. Hisashi Iwakuma, a no-hitter. He's got his work cut out for him. They have some of their best hitters coming up for the Orioles. We'll keep you posted on that as Jenmar Gomez makes his 49th appearance for the Phillies, a 2.08 ERA. Jamie Romack leads it off. It'll be Romack, Ahmed, and Owings, 7, 8, 9. A double switch from Chip Hale. Chris Owings takes over at second base for Aaron Hill. And he bats 9th. Pitcher spot now 6th in the Diamondback order. Romack 0 for 2. He is twice fly out. Hisashi Iwakuma has walked 3 in that no-hitter. He's got 7 strikeouts as he starts the 9th.
Facing the 9-1-2 hitter in the Orioles lineup. And the number 2 hitter today is former D-back Gerardo Parra.
Acquired by the Orioles at the deadline. Romack lifts it in the air, short left. As he comes in, he won't get there. And Jamie Romack has a leadoff single. I think this guy's going to hit a little bit for the Diamondbacks.
He takes an aggressive swing, keeps his bat in the zone for a long time, and when you do that, occasionally you're going to get jammed. That one dunked in front of Cody Ashley out there in shallow left field.
Well, Iwakuma just got a foul pop-up caught by Corey Seager for the first out in the 9th inning in Seattle. So Iwakuma now 2 outs away from the no-no. A great running foul catch by Seager. Almost a Willie Mays style catch near the seats in foul territory along the third baseline. Here's Nick Ahmed, who's 0 for 2. Manny Machado now steps in with 1 out in the 9th for Baltimore. Can you do 2 games at once? Is that allowed?
Sure. Why not?
All right. Iwakuma ahead 0-1. So is Genmar Gomez. Here's the 0-1. Misses outside, 1-1. In the meantime, Iwakuma delivers to Machado. Here's the 0-1. He swings and misses. And a fastball up and away. 0-2 on Machado. Here's the 1-1 to Ahmed. I hope Rob Manfred's not watching this. A bouncer in the hole. Blanco. Hernandez. They can't turn it. Nick Ahmed beats it out. In the meantime, Machado grounds out in Seattle. 2 down in the 9th. And Hisashi Iwakuma is 1 out away from a no-hitter.
Second baseman.
I think it's going to be up to Gerardo Parra, Bob. I think you're right.
Yep.
Mariners lead the Orioles 3-0. 2 outs, 9th inning, and Parra steps in against Iwakuma. Here's Owings against Gomez. 231 and 3 homers for CO.
What's going on in that Houston Giants game?
The Astros are leading 1-0 in San Francisco. Chris has had a big series following that bases loaded walk-off to beat Cincinnati. As Parra flies out, Austin Jackson has it, and Hisashi Iwakuma has thrown a no-hitter. The 5th no-hitter in Mariners history. He has no-hit the Orioles at Safeco Field this afternoon. 3-0 Mariners win. The 0-1 to Chris Owings. CO in this series 4 for 10 with 3 doubles. And this was his walk-off on Sunday. Bases loaded. And we solved that umpiring riddle. At least Larry Vano, the crew chief, said that as soon as Owings, the batter, touched first, and Goldie, the runner from third, touched home, the play was over. And the Diamondback got the walk-off win. Here's the 0-2 to CO. So congratulations to the Mariners and Hisashi Iwakuma. A no-hitter at Safeco Field here today. And we'll have a highlight from that in just a moment. 1-2 pitch. Base hit for Owings. He rolls it into right. 2 on, 1 out for the Diamondbacks, trying to come back. And let's go to Seattle Safeco Field. Hisashi Iwakuma against Gerardo Parra. And this is the first out. This is the catch by Seager we told you about in foul ground. A really nice play. And Machado grounds out to Seager at third in our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Alcantara flies out to Jackson in center, and Hisashi Iwakuma throws a no-hitter for the Mariners. Nice job by the boys in the truck on that one. Get you that highlight, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning. Cool play of the game as the final goes on the scoreboard here at Chase Field.
Chris Owings into this game as part of a double switch. On his birthday, gets a base hit into right field to put D-backs at first and second with 1 out in the inning.
For Ender Inciarte, who's 2 for 3. Has a pair of singles. He scored twice. Ball 1. Hisashi Iwakuma is a really good pitcher. He's been kind of an under-the-radar guy. He's been hurt most of this year and didn't have a whole lot of luck against the Diamondbacks on the last road trip. But not surprised to see him do well. Gomez behind on Inciarte 2-0. Ender's now been 24 games since he came back from that hamstring injury he suffered against the Angels in Anaheim. That was the middle of June. He missed a month. And since he's been back from the DL, he's hitting over 300. Ahmed at second, Owings at first. This is out to Ashley in left. Backs him up for that sunlight out there. 2 down. Brings up A.J. Pollock.
Center fielder, A.J.
Dennis Lamb up in our booth here calling for a home run. I think Dennis is feeling it. And when Dennis has an instinct, it usually works out. 2 on, 2 out. A.J. already with 2 hits today. So the latest episode of the Dennis Lamb Show. Let's see, I tell you what, if he takes it deep, you're going to get a special prize. Fingers crossed. A.J. singled and scored in the first, and another single in the third. Grounded out his last time up. 8 for 11 in the series, and he scored 6 runs in the series so far. The 1-0. Bouncer to second. Hernandez is there. And that cancels the Dennis Lamb Show. 7-4 Phillies. State Farm, our farm report, Aaron Blair. First-round pick from a couple of years ago, who's had a terrific season in the Diamondback minor league system. He started out at Double-A Mobile and has been rolling along with the Triple-A Reno Aces. 6 scoreless last night, no walks, 8 strikeouts against Salt Lake. And Aaron, at the Triple-A level this season, 5-0 with a 2.05 ERA. It's going to be a good one. And we may see him here in the big leagues, maybe at some point this year, the way he's pitched. Ryan Howard leads off the 7th against Josh Clemente. Howard doubled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 3. You see that what happened with the Jets?
Yeah, stay hot.
So only the Jets, right? Their quarterback gets punched out by a teammate and he's out like half the year. Broken jaw. Now Rex Ryan used to coach the Jets, of course, and now he's coaching the Buffalo Bills. So I know a couple of guys, we were talking about this watching on the TV, that, you know, hey, Rex Ryan should pick up the guy that punched out the Jets quarterback. Well, guess what? He did.
They did.
Just picked him up today.
He's already contributed.
Probably Rex Ryan's favorite player. And Howard, a little flare the other way to Ahmed went away. So we give you a little everything here on Fox Sports Arizona. Get you the no-hitter clip. Get you the NFL updates.
Right fielder, Jeff.
Busy day here. Here's Jeff Francoeur, who's had a busy day himself. Couple of singles. He scored twice.
While you were multitasking, calling the no-hitter and this game, I jokingly referred to the Houston-San Francisco game, which is now in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros with a 2-0 lead over the Giants. D-backs were only 4 behind the Giants going into play tonight in the National League West.
Yeah, the Giants and Nationals and Cubs all fighting out for some postseason spots, and the Diamondbacks are right there. But they need a comeback here to complete the sweep. Wellington Castillo's on the swing and bunt by Francoeur. They retire him. And that's 2 outs in the 7th. Diamondbacks at 500, 56-56. Trying to get over 500 for the first time since April 22nd, but they trail at 7-4.
If they're able to come back, it would be their 22nd comeback win of the year. Now, you have to take that with a grain of salt because yesterday was number 21.
Oh, we battled back from 1-0 down with 13 unanswered. Hard to do better than that. 6.5 back at the Dodgers at the start of play today. Here's Cody Ashe. Shift is on. And we showed you the Hisashi Iwakuma no-hitter. That was the 5th no-hitter in Mariner history. And of course, we all know who threw the first one. He had a big weekend here. Randy Johnson. That was pointed out by a Mariner fan. I'm getting some texts from Mariner people now. Here's 51. The first no-hitter in Mariner history.
I believe, didn't Chris Bosio have a no-hitter for the Mariners?
Now the pitching coach of the Cubs. Always has to charge. The shift was on from deep in shallow right field, and Clemente works a 1-2-3 7th. We stretch it chase. Diamondbacks down 7-4. tonight. Tonight, catch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 for complete highlights and analysis of everything baseball, plus the latest from NFL training camps. Well, we've already done that here. But check out Fox Sports Live. They'll give you more complete coverage tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
They'll fill in the cracks.
Yeah, well, we just do surface stuff and they go in depth. By the way, I got a text from the wife, whose love for the Mariners is topped only by her love for the Diamondbacks. But she says, yes, you are right about Chris Bosio throwing a no-hitter for the Mariners.
Yeah, the reason I remember that, I think Omar Vizquel, it might have been the final out of the game, came streaking across the infield on a high chopper and made a barehanded grab and throw to first base for an out.
Goldie drops one in almost the same spot. He had a play in the fifth where he hit it right to that exact same area that they scored a triple. He's got a double this time, and Francoeur is going, what's going on here? Goldie
Deja vu all over again right there. That was almost an identical.
It's amazing. He's not proud, but he'll take it.
This is the most recent floater down the right field line for Goldie.
Now here's the one that was a triple in the fifth.
That being said, he's a homer away from the cycle today.
He's also walked. He's reached base safely all 4 times. Single, walk, triple, double. That'll work. Here's Jake Lamb, who's got 2 RBIs today. Well, that's just perfect placement right there. Jeff Francoeur, give me a break.
You're positioned wrong. Check your charts.
That's Dr. Ed Lewis. He knows just how to attack these shifts. Off the mound. Boy, that just eats up Galvis. He had to jump up and get that one right at his belt buckle as it caromed off the mound, and it came off that pitching mound, spinning right at him. And it backed him up. If they get Lamb at first, Goldie moves into third. That's a nice play there by Galvis.
Yeah, really nice play. That ball was hit hard, and you could see change directions when it hit the side of the mound, but Galvis able to stay with it, swing that sinker over there to Ryan Howard for the out.
Down 3 here in the 7th. Diamondbacks have to find a way to get Goldie home from third with 1 down. Here's Wellington Castillo, who's 0 for 3. See if we can go into beef mode here and put some beef on the menu.
Phillies playing back all the way around the infield. Anything other than a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and Goldie should be able to score from third base.
Pitcher spot is up next. Jared Saltalamacchia in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is 6th in the Diamondbacks order after the double switch. Owings playing second and batting 9th. Here's Salty. He's had a very productive bat lately. There's a home run in this series. 1-1 on Beef Wellington. Castillo, 15 home runs this year, 13 with the Diamondbacks. Goldie at third, 1 out.
Hey fans, follow the Diamondbacks wherever you are with the MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
1-2 on Castillo. He keeps fouling off some Gomez pitches.
one's in the dirt. Saltalamacchia will bat for Colementor. Daniel Hudson warming up with the Diamondback bullpen. Phillies have a right-hander and a lefty up. There we see him out there. There's Huddy in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Rajo and Garcia throwing for Philadelphia. Two and two.
Rajo probably getting ready just in case Chip Hale decides to drop David Peralta in there somewhere at the bottom of the order as a pinch hitter.
Elvis Rajo, the lefty.
Yeah. He got a little sweat work, and he's been in the cage.
Got the gloves on. He's all set.
Getting ready for a possible at bat, either in this inning or the 8th or the 9th.
And the way he's hitting lately, doesn't matter lefty or righty. 2-2 pitch. Center field, run out Herrera. Here comes Goldie. That'll get the run home, and it's 7-5. The RBI for Castillo. And that's 5 runs. So beef really is on the menu.
Yes, indeed.
That's some beef tacos.
We like tacos, but we like wins even better. Don't stop now, boys.
So it's a 2-run ball game, and Salty will hit for Colementor.
Mentioned the Saltalamacchia home run in the ball game yesterday came as a right-handed hitter. He's more known for his power from the left side of the plate, but a nice easy swing that time. Got him a 4-bagger.
Yeah, he's hit and played so well lately. I've become very good at spelling Saltalamacchia. It's no longer an issue.
Me too. S-A-L-T-Y.
That's from the guy who writes RD when somebody's in a rundown.
Yeah.
That works. You get the gist. Salty's hit safely in 6 of his last 9 games. He's got 6 RBIs in that span. And the home run and a walk-in starting the game last night. 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year. Is in the air to center. Herrera has one. You always hold your breath that extra half a heartbeat, but he usually gets in the baseball. Diamondbacks get a run. They trail at 7-5. look at the Cox Gig Alive high-speed highlights. Our Gila River game summary. Diamondbacks, who scored 13 runs in each of the first 2 games of this series, are on the short end of the stick so far. 7-5, still lots of offense, most of it coming from the Phillies. But Goldie so far a home run shy of the cycle. And it's a 2-run Diamondback deficit as Daniel Hudson is out there to start the 8th inning.
And don't go anywhere, because Goldie will get an at bat in the 9th inning, if not before, but for sure in the 9th inning. A homer away from the cycle.
Freddie Galvis, 2 for 3, a pair of singles. He's got an RBI. And Diamondbacks in the home half of the 8th. They'll have the bottom third. Romack, Ahmed, Owings coming up. 25 hits in the ball game, 12 runs between the two teams. Jake Lamb in a step or 2 at third. There's a strike, 1-1. Another tough day for the Boston Red Sox pitching staff. I guess those pitchers weren't warmed up properly again. Marlins beating them up in Miami 14-6. Been a long year for John Farrell. Of course, Michael Brantley is the Red Sox bullpen catcher. Just joking about that. But have you had a report from Michael, who's getting his first experience right next to the Clevelander out there?
Well, I gave him a heads up just in case he didn't notice.
He was so focused on what was happening.
But yeah, he's commented on the Clevelander and what a distraction that can be.
Warming up pitchers in a nightclub. Cameron Rupp, a 3-run homers last time up. He's got 4 RBIs. In for another one here. Foul ground right side ender. 2 down.
I did tell Michael to make it a point to introduce himself to Tommy Hutton, our buddy down there on the TV show for the Marlins, and I assume he caught up with him this morning at the ballpark. I'll talk to him later tonight.
Dominic Brown will hit for the pitcher. Did not play yesterday. In fact, he was a late scratch from the ball game. Was under the weather. 240 and 4 homers. All 4 of those home runs have come in his last 10 games. He was 0 for 3 with a walk in Monday's series opener. Astros now lead the Giants 2-0 in San Francisco. Dodgers host the Nationals tonight. Jordan Zimmerman versus Clayton Kershaw. It's about as good a pitching matchup as you'll find. How do you head 0-2? Looks like Luis Garcia, the right-hander, is going to get the 8th inning for the Phillies. Arahu, the lefty, is sat down now in the Phillies bullpen. 1-2. Dom Brown's been hot lately, hitting nearly 320 in his last 17 games. There is Luis Garcia, the right-hander. Each of his last 10 appearances have been scoreless. Looks like he'll get the 8th. As Dom Brown hits for Gomez. Chases a high heater, and Daniel Hudson makes short work of the Phillies in the 8th inning. Diamondbacks trail it 7-5. 2 for 4. I'm sorry, too sore for cardio today? How about that? How about 45 on the treadmill? Not asking for much.
Too early for cardio.
Good call. Luis Garcia, his 51st appearance of the year, a 3.10 ERA. And now the Diamondbacks with no outs in the 8th inning hit the tying run to the plate. It's Nick Ahmed. Too early for cardio. That's my excuse all the time.
You know, partner, some pitchers pitch better on 3 days rest or 4 days rest or 5 or more days rest. Well, Webby's working on 2,319 days rest right now.
Hot shot right back to the mound. And a nice job by Garcia just to recover as Romack moves up. That was on him.
Maybe all those innings, those added up. It did take a long time. I don't know how many days you counted. It took a long time for me to recover from all those innings over 9 years.
2,319 days?
You were misused.
You could have learned to throw left-handed by now.
That's why I think I should have tried that, actually. It may have been quicker.
Brandon Webb. Diamondback Live post-game show with Jody Jackson follows our ball game. Here's Chris Owings, who singled in his first at bat. Came in on a double switch.
It's a two-pitch combination from Luis Garcia, fastball slider, but the fastball has some life. 96 with some tailing action on that first delivery to Chris Owings for strike one.
CO 5 for 11 in the series. His bat has really come around, but he's down 0-2.
Boy, that was a cross up there. We talked about it. You can adjust if you're expecting a fastball and get an off-speed pitch. You can adjust. Watch how he receives this ball. He was starting to go up and in for the fastball. Managed to catch up with it in time to catch it for a called strike, but clearly a cross-up.
Jamie Romack at second after a single to lead off the 8th. 0-2 on Owings. Cincinnati will be next. Foul. Chopper to third. Talking to Bob last night about how Chris up there not missing too many fastballs these days. The way he's swinging the bat, you get him a hittable fastball and he might drive it. Oh, 2. And he does just that. He shoots it into the corner. That's a fair ball. Romack will score. Francoeur plays it off the wall. Another hit for Chris Owings. It's an RBI double and a one-run ball game. 6 for 12 in the series with 4 doubles.
Such a difference in his approach. A lot of the pitches that in the past month or so he'd been fouling off to the first base side of the field. He's starting to square them up. That one down into the right field corner. His teammate Yasmani Tomas loves it.
Chris Owings 2 for 2 today. He's the tying run in scoring position, 1 out. Bob McClure out to the mound as Ender Inciarte will be the hitter.
How about the Chris Owings came in the ballgame in the 6th inning as part of a double switch. He's 2 for 2 on his birthday.
It's a happy one right now. Get a lot happier here if Inciarte can tie the ball game. Bring CO home. Well, he's just looked so good on this homestand. He's looked like a different guy, a completely different guy. The confidence is there. He doesn't seem like he's in between. Chip Hale had mentioned that before. Sort of in between, indecisive, breaking ball, fastball, swinging at the bat once, watching the good ones, but the switch, it seems like, has been flipped.
You can work work as hard as, and CO does work extremely hard every day. This entire ball club does. But until you have some positive results in the game, you just feel like you're banging your head against a wall. But CO has been getting those positive results, and hopefully he'll be able to maintain it throughout the rest of the season.
Ender Inciarte, 2 for 4, a pair of singles. He's scored twice. Owings, the tying run at second, 1 out.
These Philly pitchers are spooked by the Diamondbacks running game. They just split their attention at every turn when the Diamondbacks have had a runner on base, paying a lot of attention.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks have already brought 1 run in, threatening to at least tie the game or take the lead, so Chip Hale will get his closer up. Brad Ziegler's not worked in a while. Certainly haven't needed him in this series. So either way, he'll get some work in. 1-1.
And with the off day tomorrow, you just don't want to let your closer sit for that long of a time unless he has an issue. If he's got some physical problems or something, maybe you stay away from him and let him have a couple of off days in a row here. But I think Brad Ziegler will pitch top of the 9th.
One and 2. There's Brad Ziegler in the Sanderson Ford bullpen.
Frustrated with himself there. Check swing, ball in the dirt.
That San Francisco game has gone final, by the way. Astros shut out the Giants 2-0. Scott Feldman beat Chris Heston. Gregerson, his 23rd save. So the Giants have lost. Dodgers in action tonight, hosting Washington. Time to get together.
He only throws 2 pitches. It can't be that tough.
One and 2. Hot shot right to Howard. The left to Howard, and Ender beats it out. Ender Inciarte flying up that line. Owings is in at third. Boy, that was smashed right to first. Howard with a quick glove hand, though, but not quick enough to get Inciarte.
Boy, big props to Ender for running this one out. You hit a ball that hard right at the first baseman. 99 times out of 100, you're going to be out at first base. Most guys just jog up the line, but Ender busting it out of that batter's box gets himself an infield single. Oh, I love that attitude. If I can outrun that pitcher to first base, I can get a base hit.
And he did. You can see Howard have to wait a moment because Garcia was slow to the bag, so Owings is the tying run at third. Inciarte the go-ahead run at first, still only 1 out. And the batter is A.J. Pollock. A.J. 2 for 4 today, a pair of singles. He is 8 for 14 in the series. Ken Giles, the right-hander, starts throwing. And it looks like the Phillies are trying to figure out how to position the infield here. And it looks like they will come in. Howard will hold Inciarte on the bag at first. They're going to play medium depth all the way around. 2 on, 1 out for Pollock. And check his swing. It gets away from Walker. Ender is in there.
Oh, that's huge. Takes the double play out of the equation right there. Ender's ability to advance on that ball in the dirt. Didn't get that far away from Cameron Rupp behind the plate, but he had no idea where it was initially.
Got behind him. Went right through his legs and got behind him and couldn't find it. Wild pitch. Moves Inciarte into scoring position. He's the go-ahead run. Infield in now for the Phillies. That one's almost in the same spot. 1-1 now. Base hit away from taking the lead here. And potentially getting a series sweep. Goldie on deck. He's 3 for 3 with a walk. Owings is the tying run at third. Inciarte the go-ahead run at second.
I was just about to say, with the Phillies playing their infield in, Ender Inciarte should be able to get a real good lead out there at second base and hopefully score on anything hit into the outfield.
That knocks it down. Hernandez coming home. Oh! Owings is out, says Jim Wolf. Boy, that was close. Hernandez had time to set himself and deliver home to Rupp. Glenn Sherlock on the phone. We'll have a look. Clearly got the tag right on the wallet there. The question is, was the foot in there first? And remember, the Diamondbacks have lost their challenge already. Overslid with that front foot. You talk about that all the time.
You see that happen all the time.
And now Pete McCannon is coming out to have a word with the umpires.
That's a pretty nice play by the Phillies catcher to pick that ball out of the dirt, and it appeared he got the tag on CO's back before that foot came down on home plate.
Headsets are going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous play is under official video replay review. The call on the field is that the runner was out at home plate.
Of course, the Diamondbacks have already lost their challenge, but under Rule 713, Chip Hale can convince the umpires to have a look at the play-to-plate, and suddenly the whole can of worms is open, and you can look at anything you want. And I think that's what Pete McCannon was arguing about. So putting the headsets on in the first place, it's another umpire review. Brought to us by Mix One. This is not a Diamondback challenge. This is a crew chief review.
Chris Owings could have possibly gone a little wider at home plate, made Rupp come farther with the tag, but
watch the back foot of Chris Owings. It collides with Rupp's foot right there. Is that obstruction?
Well, he's got the ball now,
right?
You know, when you have the ball, you technically are allowed to drop that foot back there and block home plate if you have the baseball. And so far, everything looks legal as far as the Phillies catcher is concerned.
If Chris has that front foot down, he's in there. Yep. But it comes in up in the air over the plate, and it looked like Rupp may have touched him on the wallet before the foot eventually did hit the plate. This is not a Diamondback challenge, it's an umpire review. And this is open to all kinds of interpretation right here. Watch CO's back foot right there hit Rupp's front foot.
And maybe the reason CO didn't go wide there at home plate, you see the bat laying right there next to the right-handed batter's box. Maybe he felt that that was going to be in his way if he tried to slide wide and reach out with the left hand. That's still extremely close.
This is a big call in the ball game, obviously. 7-6, that's the tying run coming home here. A long look in New York.
like waiting for the jury to come back. Does it aid the prosecution or the defense the longer it takes?
Well, it's not necessarily a collision per se, but on any collision call at home plate or any close play at the plate, if the collision play is reviewed, the safe out call is automatically reviewed, and the manager is not charged with a challenge, which appears to be happening here. I think Pete McCann is too happy about it. This is what the rule says. Back. He is out at home. So Owings out at home, 4-2 on the putout. The call on the field stands, and now Pete McCann will go out to get a new pitcher. An updated look at our replay review standings brought to you by Mix One. And the Diamondbacks have 2 on and 2 out, down 1 in the 8th. Back after this. And the right-hander Ken Giles, who's done a very good job since assuming the closer's role for the Phillies, is on to snuff out a Diamondback threat with that 1.80 ERA. He's been very good this year. His 52nd appearance. Diamondbacks down 7-6. They have Inciarte, the tying run at third, and A.J. Pollock the go-ahead run at first with 2 outs for Goldie.
Giles, another 2-pitch guy, fastball, slider. The fastball average velocity just a tick over 96 this year.
Goldie has reached base safely in all 4 plate appearances. He's a home run shy of the cycle. 2 on, 2 out, 7-6, 8th inning. There's a strike, 0-1. Goldie in this situation, a .415 hitter. Just trying to at least get that tying run home from third. By the way, we have been told from the folks in New York they were not looking at the collision. It wasn't much of a collision, but they were not looking at the collision portion of that play. They were looking at the tag. And it appeared that they got the call correct from what we saw. 1-1 to Goldie. Two and 1.
105 career home runs for Paul Goldschmidt. 53 of those have given the Diamondbacks a lead in the ball game. 53 go-ahead homers.
Two and two. Off the corner. It's full 3-2. Jake Lamb on deck. Inciarte tying run at third. Pollock go ahead run at first. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Goldie. There goes AJ, and Goldie strikes out. Diamondbacks have a threat. It's 7-6 as we go to the ninth. Brad Ziegler coming in. Taking a seat near the bullpen. Daniel Hudson will go back out there for his second inning of work in the ninth.
A little bit surprising, but at least you still have Brad Ziegler available should Daniel Hudson bump up against it here in the ninth inning and you need a ground ball to get out of it.
Well, here's Cesar Hernandez. He'll lead it off for the Phillies. He has led off 4 different innings here today. The first, the third, the fifth, and now the ninth. He's the leadoff man. 2 for 4, 2 singles. Hernandez, Blanco, Herrera, 1, 2, and 3 in the Phillies' ninth. Cesar Hernandez, a switch hitter. And he's batting about .270 from the left-hand side. That's where he sees most of his at-bats. This in the air to deep center. A.J. Pollock. One away. D-backs in the bottom of the ninth will have Lamb, Castillo, and the pitcher's spot, which is 4, 5, and 6.
And for that pitcher spot, Chip Hale has David Peralta available from the left side of the plate, Yasmani Tomas and Oscar Hernandez available from the right side.
Giles, who got that last out in the 8th, has been the closer lately, so we'll see if he tries for the 4-out save. The right-hander. Andres Blanco 2 for 4. He homered in the 3rd. No one throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen. This one has popped up. Nick Ahmed. 2 down.
Center fielder Odubel Herrera.
Odubel Herrera, the center fielder. A bunt single in the third. He's 1 for 4. There's strike one. We are told that the injury suffered by David Hernandez is a left ankle contusion.
That's good news.
Sure is.
Maybe not for David, but given how hard that ball was hit and where it hit him on that left leg, that's the best news you could possibly get.
Andres Blanco hit a rocket right back to the mound in the 6th inning that caught David square on that left ankle. Huddy ahead 0-2. So a left ankle contusion for Hernandez. Speaking of ankles, got the spike through the pants there. Chases that one. 2 strikeouts for Huddy, who retired all 6 he faced. Diamondbacks down 1 as we go to the 9th. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Jake Lamb, Wellington Castillo, and the pitcher spot. Bottom 9 on the way. Threatened more, but this is how the threat ended. Chris Owens cut down at home with the infield in on a close tag by Cameron Rupp. It was review. The out call stood. And then Ken Giles, the closer, came on and struck out Goldie to end the 8th. And Giles is back out there to work the 9th. 7-6. It'll be Lamb, Castillo in the pitcher's spot against Giles, who has converted all 6 of his save opportunities since he took over as the closer. So this will be of the 4-out variety here as Lamb leads off an RBI single in the 5th. He's also got an RBI ground out. 1 for 4. Bounce to second. Swings on Hernandez, throws him out, 1 away. And we go into beef mode. And the pitcher spot will follow Wellington Castillo, and David Peralta comes out and grabs a bat. So Peralta will hit for the pitcher. Steve Wellington, an RBI sac fly his last time up. He's 0 for 3.
Need a base runner. Loop and a blast. Come on. Find a way on there.
Well, the way Peralta's been hitting lately, that blast is just waiting to happen. And Castillo lately, of course, no slouch himself. 8 home runs in his last 12 games. Steve Wellington. Odubel Herrera. 2 down. So here's Peralta. And if there's anybody you want up right here, it's this man. 301 on the year now, 11 home runs. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, a grand slam last night. 32 RBIs in his last 40 games. And up over 300 for the year. Peralta, his last 3 games, 10 for 14 with 8 RBIs. First pitch swinging is a base hit. There's your base runner. A 2-out single for Peralta. Impossible to get him out right now. Well, they've done some nice work on those signs.
Next level stuff, yeah. Hard top spin grounder. Shoots through that left side of the infield, giving the D-backs base runner they've been looking for here in the ninth.
With 2 outs for Jamie Romack, who got the start for Peralta in left today. And he's got a pair of singles. He's 2 for 4. And he's the winning run at the plate with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Giles throws hard. 96 right by him. 0-1. Romack, a pinch hit RBI double Monday in the win over the Phillies. His first hit as a Diamondback. 2 more hits today. That's in there for a strike. 1-2. Jamie 3 for 7 so far with the D-backs after his call up from AAA Reno, where he had 22 homers and 87 RBIs. Hit 289 there this year. 1-2 pitch. He's bounced in the dirt.
Rupp's had himself a pretty solid day behind the plate, even though he was charged with a pass ball earlier in the game. He's had to handle some real tough chances at the plate.
Figures to be their everyday catcher next season. The aging Carlos Ruiz in the final year of his contract next year. 2-2. He did not go, Adrian Johnson. Romack still alive. It's a full count.
Giles may have started the celebration just a tad too soon out there on the mound.
Ooh. We might have caught a break there. Look at Jamie. Settle down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Boy, wouldn't it be something?
Sure
wouldn't
would.
it be something?
Sure would. And a long series for Pete Mackanin. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Got him. 98 up. And Giles gets the 4 outs. The Phillies get a win. They salvage the series finale in the Diamondbacks.